Morning, folks. Morning, chat. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you had a good afternoon yesterday. We absolutely crushed it together in Discord. Really nice afternoon session. Caught those shorts all the way down for that week low that we talked about on the stream yesterday. Played out really nice into close. So let's have a look at what we've got then for this week. All right, bit of a peculiar week, to be honest. All right, we're leaving that new week opening gap well and truly open. There's your Monday open. We have now closed Monday and Tuesday gap on that move yesterday. So the only gap left down here, there is a little one down here, is the new week opening gap. I would very much doubt we're going to go and fill that anytime soon. Maybe next week, but it doesn't feel like we're going to fill it today. So yesterday did the job in rebalancing the week, right? If we think about the open on the week to the high, we came into the golden zone, we found a bid, and we're back up in premium now. Okay, so catching a bid below the 5-day, and we're doing this kind of move here, which can set up for a while. I know bears won't like this, but this is very possible that we get some sort of continuation, especially if they keep guessing the highs. All right, this is what we tend to do when we're going to these strong trends. If we think about a very similar here, shorts keep guessing the high. All right, and then they try and play failed follow through, and then they try again for a double top, and then we do these kind of moves here for a bit. So it wouldn't surprise me at all, to be quite honest, even though there's a lot of major sell signals starting in the market. You know, the market can keep being irrational. All right, so yesterday did that damage, rebalanced. We're bidding back up. Why? Well, we had amazing earnings from Amazon and Apple. Is it AAPL? I always get this the wrong way around. AAPL, right? AAPL. Ignore that. AAPL. And we'll go over that shortly. But that gap up came from earnings, big earnings from those two. And as you all know, I've been long and strong in both of those names, which is fantastic. Okay, so we go down into the hourly. You'll see what happened yesterday. We talked yesterday about this move here. Was it here? Where are we? Thursday, 8 o'clock. Yes, this low here not being a good enough low yesterday, and I expected it to come and get taken out, which is exactly what we did. So we needed one more balance up. This H1 high started to play out. You'll remember we talked about this. There's our pin top, lower high, lower low. We didn't want to be a buyer in here because it was a chance for the H1 traders to try and make that lower high for continuation. They get it. We trade in range, create lots of liquidity. And once this was ready, we played this short down to here. This into 900 was an old point of control, which had not been tested. All right, big POC and value area. So we took out all this and came back down into a big lever of value, right? Which is why we covered 900 and expected a bid up off that into earnings, which is exactly what we got. Huge bid up off earnings. All right, so anyone who took puts down there into close is already in big trouble. The question now is, can we hold price, you know, somewhere up here, all right, over previous day value or point of control, somewhere in here, bear trap underneath Globex for that move up. That's very possible, and that would be a nice move, right? Because we've seen we don't want to be buyers up here. We don't want to participate in this chop if we can avoid it. The same levels we talked about the last few days. I don't want to be participating in here. Market's shown it wants to rotate in here. It's not a good buying location. Great buying location underneath old swings if we can put a pivot in to come back upside, right? If we can get bears to like chase in, market finds a bid, that will be a nice area to think about getting long. All right, if it doesn't want to come that low, you know, I will consider this area, but I would way prefer previous day value. I've got to get rid of this. All right, I'd way prefer a gut check down here. Bears come flying in, we hold this level or this level and bid back off, because then we can get a partial into this resistance and I can hold through this move if they start squeezing, rather than entering during this area here, which is a little bit of a trickier trade. If we start failing under Globex and we're coming back down here and getting stuck, then obviously the rotation will take place in here again, much like yesterday. That will be fairly ugly and somewhat more bearish, to be honest. for closing out the week. Remember, it is end of month as well, folks. All right, end of month. So you're going to have traders positioning themselves for those moves end of month. Okay, let's move up into the lower time frames and we'll go through some of the other charts. So you can see the levels acting up really, really nice here. So previous day low, previous day close, 900 was the old POC, somewhere in here. This is where we covered. So for those of you who are interested, this is where we got short yesterday. We had a couple of attempts at it. And I did post it on X or Twitter, covering down here once we got that break underneath. As soon as it reclaimed, this squeeze was on. All right, that was after hours. And now this is your rotation. All right, same levels as previous day. Was it previous day? Yes, Thursday. In Globex, same levels, rotation. And then acceptance below. Now no acceptance, rotation. And do we get a failed break? Or do we come back into that acceptance below? I know it looks messy, but that's the chart we've got right now. It is a huge, huge range playing out at the moment. Right, go into some of the other time frames and we'll get through the MAG and the VIX because they all matter. All right, ES looking very, very similar. It's trying to hold on to its Globex highs. Remember, most of the strength is coming from tech, not from ES. So that bump up came from tech. We also had Netflix announced it was going to do a 10-to-1 split, and they got a big, like 2% bump off that. So more things running here. So there's the trend down, inverse head and shoulder. Can they get accepted back into here? Is where they're trying to get up to 920s. I think ultimately the target will be 7,000. Obviously not today, but that's probably a big call wall up there, I would imagine. And if we go to the spiders, pretty clear, pretty big reaction there on the spiders, all right, in that gap. So new week opening gap, about 50% into it, finding a bid and trying to get back upside again in this choppy area. It's not a great location to trade here, folks. It really is not, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the Qs. You can see the relative strength in these Qs. So rebalanced. There's the drive up. There's sideways. And this ideally is a failed breakdown. Ideally, we've caught short sellers here for that continuation higher. That would be the smoothest and nicest play. We cannot ignore that this is supply, which is why I don't want to be a bidder or bidding the market up here. I want this move here and a reclaim. All right, let's have a look at the VIX. All right, got crushed again yesterday, that big drive up. You can see this double top. I don't know why it keeps resetting these levels. Keep doing them every single day. All right, this level here was an old buy zone. All right, old support became new resistance. Twice we failed to get through it and we've got crushed back down into the 16s. All right, back down to this demand level. Again, you cannot ignore that we are boxed in here building liquidity. All right, at some point, we're going to get a move outside of that liquidity. Right, let's go through the MAG. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. All right, Apple. Big beat on earnings. All right, flushed out all the weak hands on that first move, and that's new all-time highs. All right, obvious spot that it's looking for is probably the 300s. If you remember, we were looking for a measured move, an extension, right, from this yearly move in towards 305s. All right, remember, I'm long 202s, so comfortably up now, about $70 a share. I did sell a little bit into it because be stupid not to at this point. We're getting rather extended, but there we go. But a nice move nonetheless. Right, so pulling back in the pre-market here, probably about 50%. Not even there yet. But bullish overall. It just depends whether they find continuation above PDH, I would say, would be the key level. Amazon. Absolute monster. We've talked about this all week. Hopefully, well, actually for about a month now. Hopefully some of you took some of these calls I've been giving you. This was so obvious, folks. All right, this was so obvious. When you zoom out, right, this was not priced in. Here's your low on year, okay? Every other stock has been way up here in all-time highs. Look at the MAG. They've all been up there. This company is an absolute monster. It was way undervalued and hadn't had its run yet, and it had built out this liquidity here for the break. All right, it is about as clean, as obvious as you want. That was never priced in for earnings, and because of that, it got a really nice bump. All right, an extra $20 a share out of that. So again, still long in this. and I'll continue to hold this until it proves otherwise. Goog giving back some of its earnings. Again, this had big earnings a couple of days ago. All right, big breakout, all-time high, flushed down yesterday. We have to see if it bases here or if it's going to give the whole move back. All right, does it base here or give the whole move back? Again, that was very frothy. This was extremely extended. This is the big difference between Goog and Amazon. All right, Amazon's doing this part of the move. When we think about where we are on the year, Goog is extended, all right, way away from structure, right? So it has more to give back. Yeah, still gapping up on Goog. See, this is starting to worry me. This is starting to happen every single day at the moment. There is clearly a data issue at the moment between CME, Tradeify, and NinjaTrader. Clearly. Starting to get a bit worrying when it's happening every single day coming to the charts. All right, Meta hammered on earnings. Earnings were actually good, but it's got that one-time fee. We have to see if it bases out here into the 650s. If not, it's got room lower. All right, back down into this sort of pool here, but we're getting close to an area where I think bids will start to come in. We are gapping up today. It has found a bid so far, but maybe one more retest of the low before much else happens. Microsoft bidding up. All right, again, sold off on earnings, and it's starting to find a bid now to the upside, looking a little bit stronger, but again, just in previous days. Range, Nvidia, not really interested in this right now. It looks good, but your opportunity for buying here is small. All right, but can it reclaim for that? Again, chop zone here. This is just like what we're looking at on the Qs. Tesla pulling back after that huge move to all-time highs. There's your breakout, retest, breakout, backside now. If it fails around here, then we're going to get very, very weak. All right, so a bit of a mixed bag in the mag then, so we want to be somewhat cautious, but most of tech probably bullish off that earnings. I just want to see how we operate this morning at the open. All right, I'm not looking to bid even in this blue box. I've got it marked out, but really I want to see how we act when we come into previous days, value area high, if we get there, or if we're just going to gun it out the gate. And the mag will probably help me decide that, but no big push out the gate, nothing I'm looking for out the gate. All right, let's get through some of these before I get most of you saying you just want to trade smart today and get through the week, which is great. I don't blame you. Good morning, Clint. Good morning, John Dennis. Thank you so much, John. I'm going to get my Friday coffee, as always, with that donation. I appreciate you. Morning, Noah, Jesse, Tonio, Silem, Jeff, Mike, Christy, Adam, Garbear, InfoRisk, Miguel, Peter, Owen J, Richard, Chris, Troy, Awani, JJ, Oaken, Chris Trades, Bart, BU, Ken, Capt, Brandon, Mark, Charles Clonch, Larry, Array, Lou, Todd, Ejecto, Sloth, Czar, Calypso, Psychosis, LJ, Omalabi, Jonathan B, Stefan, Ron S, and PD, and Laurent. Good morning, everyone. Morning, morning, morning. All right, we've got 1 minute until the open here. Let's see how we go. Make sure my charts are all set up. I'm on the right accounts here. No giving back this week. All right, folks, you've had a really strong week. Let's just make sure it stays that way. Nothing silly off the open, please. Just let this set up as it needs and we'll go from there. Yeah, hit that like nice and early. Yeah, 80% code store. I need to change at the bottom. It finished a couple of days ago, 80% sale. So it will only get you 50% off at the moment. Sorry about that. Investing Library. They finished it 2 days ago. All right, here's the morning open. Let's see what we go. Let's get these charts set up. I'm on all the wrong charts on my side monitor. from watching the mag last night. Long-term portfolio up very, very nicely. Those swings paying really, really good. All right, bit of a pullback here on the spiders towards that high time frame algo. QQQ still above previous day high. Holding at VWAP. VIX in a sideways pattern right now. Mag all green. Big winners on the day. Obviously Amazon just under 12% up right now on that gap up on earnings. Apple 2% up. Rest of the market still up. Tesla 1.80% up. Nvidia just under 2%. Microsoft approaching 1/3% up. Meta over 0.5% up. Google 1.18% up. We have to see, does some of this froth come out the market, and do they want to rebid on a Friday or not? Are they in profit-taking mode on a Friday? So this is why I just want to give it a chance, because we're in that sort of range rotation zone right now. And I don't really fancy playing range rotation on a Friday. Ideally not. Zoom this in. All right, approaching that lower time frame, previous day open, higher time frame algo. Microsoft gone green to red. Maybe we come and sweep out some of this Globex this morning down into here, and I want to see if we find bids under this. I'm not really interested in playing until we see what happens under Globex. For me personally, it's what I'm waiting for today. Stick to my rules as always. There's the higher time frame algo. So you got London low at 144, Asia low at 136, but we do have a pivot low under that 126. So I want to see if we can get down into there. And if the bears come flying in and we don't let them get that big move, I'll be interested in playing upside. Bidding off higher time frame algo at the moment. Right there. That's your line, your bid line at the moment. There's M15 and H1 kind of levels. But I would like to see this clean out Globex, really, at least on one of the charts, before we do anything else. Strong selling coming in here. Still very early in the day. Just 3 minutes in. I want to see us clean out Globex. Again, no position here. I'm just waiting to see if we take out some of the key levels and then how we operate. ES getting a bit closer, so it's starting to get very close to snapping these 93s. You'd want ES to come and clean out all the way down to 88. And then I'm interested if it traps bears underneath these sort of swing lows. If not, if they're going to go in a major puke and give the whole move back, then we have to consider that we've just built a ton of liquidity that's going to be used to go back towards previous day low. But I would be somewhat wary of that, given the structure that we built out into 26,090 down to 26,050. That kind of area is where, if bulls are going to come in, that's probably where they want to come in if they don't come in off a trap very early. VIX having a good spike up into its gap now. Gap fill available on VIX would be up to 1690s. Currently trading at 1645, but it's into its gap. It's at its sort of opening print here. So almost there. We are almost there. This is a previous day VWAP where we are right now, folks. So it's found a bid just in front of 43, which is a previous day VWAP. Be nice if we come a bit deeper before any of this. I want to clear out some of this. If we look left, No, we haven't even taken out the London low yet. We're just shy of the London low. London low is at 43 right here. So I'd like to take some of this out. I know this is an edge, but I'm really not interested in bidding off this if they're just going to create more liquidity down here. Very dangerous, but you know what NQ's like. You know what NQ's like. Loves doing this kind of nonsense. London low. Yeah, for me, London low is 44s. Asia technically low is at 136, but I'd include that pivot before it at 27, to be honest. That sort of 7 o'clock print. So I want them to set a trap between that and previous day value area high. I don't want, if they don't find a bid at previous day value area high or previous day point of control would be the next stop point, but it becomes a really poor trade if we get into yesterday's value and don't find a bid at the top side of that value, because then it just means that we've looked above and failed, and we're going to go back into rotation of yesterday's range. Oh yeah, time change on London. Clocks have gone back. Should have automatically changed. Check that. So it'd be 1 or 3. Where is it? The low should still be at the same place. Okay. All right. So we've taken it then. Thanks for that, mate. Well, still a swing point, nonetheless. 44s. 144 still a swing. That's in no man's land then. Well, Asia, but not at a key level. So Asia low still further back. 35s. Still want all of this to get swept, basically. It's just messy. Don't want this to be protected in the way it is. It's nasty. Want this to get swept out and then a trap somewhere in here, ideally, if we're going to play upside. We are catching a bid still on previous day's VWAP. I want a lower low here. I want this market to move lower. QQQ did move under pre-market lows. It is holding after hour levels at the moment. So I am watching the cash market as well. Spiders coming into, it was also taking out pre-market lows coming into after hours levels. So it's worth being aware of. You're seeing major profit taking here. Apple now gone red, Meta red, Microsoft red. Be aware of that, folks. Seeing profit taking. So I want a bear trap, but I will play downside. If we don't get a bear trap and we're just going to see, all the traders go risk off on a Friday after, all-time highs, would be aware of it. VIX well and truly into that gap, now printing 1656s. So definitely not bidding on this market. All the time VIX is trading upside and we're seeing weakness. Again, I'm waiting to see if we can take out these lows. That if I'm waiting to take out these lows and go upside, that means there are opportunities for you guys, if you're interested in playing like these breakdowns versus this into here, right? That would be TP1 and that would be TP2, and then you can hold a runner. It might be that I'm wrong and it doesn't offer this, and then you can make your money, but I'm not playing that downside move. It's not what I'm looking for this morning, so I'm going to stick to what I'm looking for. It looks like you're going to get it. That Globex about to be taken. No, it's all good, Paul. It's all good. It's useful. It's useful. I would have forgotten, so it's good to speak up. So coming towards these pre-market lows now on the cash market. Sorry, the after hours pivots on the cash market. So London now swept, Asia now swept. There is a pivot at sort of 28s. It is worth noting. I'll just put this in here. Let's just move this down. It's going to be easier around there. These are sort of the Globex levels that we're in at the moment. So Apple now 0.5% down. Meta 0.79% down. Remember, that's been the week one since earnings. Microsoft the week since earnings, 0.37% down. Rest of the market looks good. VIX still going. Looks like it wants gap fill here. Have we got much resting liquidity below? $26K, that's it. Well, I don't expect us to go down there in a hurry. That would be mega weakness in the market. If we decide we're going to do that, that would be a sell-off. Okay, here we go. So that's starting to break here. These in this area is where I'm interested in how we operate here. In this area here, do we set some kind of trap here, or are we going to bid off value? Failing to do that goes into yesterday's range, means no acceptance above, and means probable rotation in previous day's range. So ES doing that same move. After hours levels about to be taken out. Market sliding lower now. These are starting to come into the areas of interest for me. And let's do this before I forget. Boom. I'm going to do it. There we go. I want to see if we find a bid or a trap in this area that we're now in. If we don't, then no balls to party. And you guys are just going to laugh because you'll all be short on that bear flag breakdown that I said I'm going to ignore and wait to see if we offer a trap. But let's see. I have another VWAP all the way down at previous day point of control, which is 26.50s. And we are sliding. Microsoft aggressively selling. Maybe I'm going to be the wrong side of this today. We'll see. It's still early. 12 minutes into the day. ES into or very close to its old new week opening gap here again. Strong sell this morning. Goog now gone red as well. All right, want to be careful if they start trapping here. These are the levels I've been interested in. Do the sellers come back up in here and reject Globex, or is this going to be it? Are we not even going to get down to value? Remember I said between these two blue boxes is where I've got an interest on a trap. It would need to show me aggressive moves. All right, I need to see aggressive sellers caught and aggressive buying come back in and bid us back the other way for me to be involved in it. Ideally, we come to value and find a bid around there. If we fail value and we go POC, oof, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So POC all the way down here, that would be failing to hold above previous day's range. So we expect some covers here unless the market stays very, very heavy and we go in rotation. So all of you who took that short for the bear flag, you're laughing right now. And I want to see if we bid off this now. ES getting very close to its gap. The one worry I have watching ES, it looks like if we slide through the top of this gap, did we fit it yesterday? We didn't. Let's see. All right, starting to see some bid reaction in front of previous day's value area high. Just want to see if we reclaim up here to be involved or not. You took the short, Peter? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it was a good short. So here's a buyer turning up. Let's see if it's a spoofer. Same size as yesterday. 1,050 lots sitting at 26,100. So right above that previous day value area high. And these are the areas I'm interested in. VIX almost filled its gap here. Opening range now set. Starting to see a little bit of a reaction. We're back to Globex here. Watching this now. Delta starting to flip the other way. If they protect Globex, we're going to go back down to value. Here's the start of a squeeze. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see if they want to play ball or not. Some sellers here at 40s to 60s. Trying to let this develop a little bit more, but I now know that this is at least a level of interest. I want to see if this big guy gets filled at 100. Remember, value area high is down at 93. Okay, big buyer came in there. Not a good sign. Someone just got caught. And he's going to get washed out. So someone tried to force it up early there. Here we go. There, like I said, big buyer came in. All right, big selling here. Aggressive selling into previous day's value area low. Now, if they get continuation, we're going to puke it down to point of control. And if this seller, who just came in at 100, right, he paired off against that 1,000 lot. So we had a 1,300 lot right at that 100 level on the bid, and they sold through him. So they did a market sell through him. Huge volume here. I'm starting to perk my interest now at previous day's value area high. As you can see, we've just tapped it. Starting to see that reversal. Early. Remember, we've got buyers trapped right now up at 25, sellers trapped right now at the 100s. This is our range rotation between these two levels. And I want to see these participants here. If you look at Bookmap above me, this guy here is massive, 1,300 lot. You can see the delta. Look at this delta at 100, a 1,075 lot sell side, only a 47 lot buy side. So huge market sales came through. They will need continuation lower. If they don't get continuation lower, we are going to drift back upside for a squeeze. This is everything I want to see is starting to take place now. Here we go. Watching Globex now. Lovely. All right, feathering in. And being aggressive with stops today. Lovely. All right, this is where the buyer got trapped. Here we go. Here's Globex. I want to see if we push through here now. I'm looking for a cover into 40. So already peeled some off on Globex in case I'm wrong. Paying myself along the way. Remember, big buyer. Sorry, folks. Big buyer stuck here. We can change this to red. This is where we broke down from. Big buyer stuck here, all right, of like 100 lot. Huge seller of 1,000 lot stuck here. This is the rotation. Whoever wins this, we either go up here or we come previous day point of control now. In long from this break, looking for this. Already partialed out. Let's see if I can get up to New York view up and the next view up. Thin structure in here, so the sellers might protect this at 31. You can see it on the profile to the right. Here we go. Is there any more juice in it? Buyers will now want to protect the 12s. All right, they won't want it under sort of that 12. Under 12, we're going to go probably new low of day. And I can always reload if we knock me out there on the runner. Another 1,000 not come in here at the 80s now. Where's that 80s? It's kind of in no man's land, undervalued, to be honest. So that might use that as a magnet if they're going to let this seller out. We'll find out in a minute. We will find out in a minute. Microsoft red, Meta red, Goog red, Apple red. Apple's found a bid though, as has Goog. Microsoft and Meta look heavy. I'm about to knock out my runner here, which is fine. You're not going to knock me out? I think you will. It's very nice if you don't. Would have thought squeeze looked better until this new 1,000 knot came on again, but let's see. Might drag it down to the 80s. And if we don't trap here, then my thesis goes out the window and we just wait to see if we rotate to point of control. Have to be willing to be wrong, can't be fixed to thesis. Maybe I'm wrong. We will see. We will see. Okay, out on runner. A break even in that, but still good. Nice little first attempt. I know it's counter trend, but I'm looking to try and find that area where if we're going to go buy side today, we find bids. VIX coming into PDC, so gap fill still available there on the VIX. ES finding a bid so far just above its new week opening gap. I expect we drift back into that gap. Gap fill on ES for previous day will be 855. Gap fill for new week opening gap will be 826 if it really wants to fill that. I doubt we fill that today, but who knows? Maybe they go risk off today and take all their profits. Nice. So Peter covered at value area high. Nice work. I'm done for the day as well. 900-ish. 9 Awani. Nice Awani. Yes, I was in, Mark. Sorry. As soon as I saw that seller get trapped here, I was in. As soon as he got trapped and we traded above him, I got in. Took money into Globex, stopped out now. Now we're just building liquidity out here. You can see it's starting to thicken up on the profile a bit. The reason I'm not going to be stubborn is because if this seller gets his way and we let go of value, we're going to come straight down to point of control. Remember, this is fair value from yesterday, that POC, and it might be that they want to retest it. Can always get back in. If I'm right, I can always get back in for the upside move. Don't need to be stubborn. We're still trading between the trap buyer and trap seller right now. All right, big seller down here. He was at 1,000 lot. You can see him on the SVP. All right, 1,000 lot down there. If he doesn't get let out, his average price now is at 100. All right, 1,000 lot at 100. Remember, he needs price. He's an aggressive seller. He's a market seller. He needs price down here to be in the money. If we start reclaiming this, he will get squeezed out. We have a trap buyer up here as well at this edge. So we are stuck between these two participants, these two whales in the market right now, deciding what we do next. ES starting to find a bid back to VWAP here. Does it reject New York VWAP or not? Spider's got a little way to go. Is this a two-leg up which gets sold into? That's the danger right now. VIX not quite filling its gap, annoyingly. Hate seeing that. Back to Globex, right? Maybe they're going to try and squeeze this out, though. I actually want a new attempt lower to be made first, and maybe a new trap underneath. We'll see. We will see. Apple back red. Sorry, back green. Microsoft, Meta, Google look heavy today. The rest of the market looks good. Overall, as a mag, equally weighted, we are currently up 0.77 on the day, so just under what the NQ is up. ES can't get over Globex and VWAP so far, keeps poking into it and getting sold into, so still some sellers present in this market. You can see on the book, we get thin above 130, right? All the volume here, 26,130 down to 26,100. That's where we're thick. Above 130, they can have a break above and a squeeze out, I would say. And probably a reprice all the way up into 60. So there's probably a 30-point squeeze there if sellers don't protect 130. So they're trying. These buyers are trying to get through those 130s. They know that they're thin above, and they know that this seller underneath might be in trouble. All right, watching this now. If we're going to squeeze, I'm interested, but not if we're not. Not if we keep chopping back and forwards in this range. Still that huge bid sat down there at 80. He's not moved yet. He has not moved. They're just trading up to the edge of 130 and being sold into. They keep feathering us back down. So there's a new seller at 20, 25, 30, 35, 45. And we look more and more bearish here. The longer we're here, the more bearish this looks for a breakdown, to be honest. All right, back to that participant who got stuck. Does he get his way of a flush under value area high from yesterday? Starting to look that way. They just cleared the book. They're going to sell through this now and come and check point of control probably. This player down here is taking the piss at the 80 lot. Just pulled as soon as we had aggressive selling. All right, let's see then. No way did that seller just cover. Did he just cover? Nah, not enough size there. 800 buy side at the 80s. I think we retest that. I'd be surprised if they leave buy side excess like that. Let's see. I think we're going to go point of control at this point, but we will find out soon enough. Buyers trying to step on the bid here. Remember, above the 30, there's a squeeze. And we're just building out lots of liquidity here. I am surprised, if you look on the book there, that we filled anyone down there. I don't really... Where's this guy? 188. Yes, still rejecting in front of VWAP. Very, very thick here now. We've been here most of the session so far now, I would say. And big drive down and then, yeah, coming up 15 minutes down here in a range at this opening range low. As they battle it out. Yes, looks like it might want to retest for a bear flag here because it can't reclaim VWAP. We will see. It's got that new week opening gap still below it. Apple bat red on the day as well. Some more buyers showing up passive here. Another 400 lot. I don't know if these guys are just going to spoof all day long like the last few days. Feels like they probably will. It's exactly what they did the last few days. Spent the days spoofing. They must get bored doing that, honestly. So remember, sellers still stuck underneath 100 here. Still on the book, they're stuck underneath 100. If they get their way, we're going to go point of control, which I feel like we probably should give them that at this point because we've been here so long. So not interested in being a bidder on this market at the moment now. I think we're going to sell through. Here's previous day's value. Do we get continuation? Big seller here. All right, I've sold through this now. I've flipped my bias, covering some. See if we can get point of control in VWAP. Want to be careful if there's excess and absorption. Big seller down here came on a book. Huge, huge seller. If they absorb him, then maybe a re-squeeze up. So 30s will be the trigger for the squeeze up. Until that point, looking for a drive down into sort of 50s at the moment. Did cover some here, holding a little runner to see if we can get continuation lower at this point. And if we reclaim 100s where that guy was stuck, then I'll cut the runner again. Just trying to play against their pain points at the moment. So another 530 lot sell side came in here. These guys will eventually get stuck at some point unless we're going to go full risk off today. And then I can flip my bias back to long. But I want to play the momentum in front of me. Wow, 1500 lot sat there at 70 looking to get filled. So flashing where he wants it to go. Again, huge selling down here. Huge, huge, huge selling down here, folks. All right, we've got lots and lots of sell side down here. If we start reclaiming 100, they all get stuck. Again, I think 30s will be the trigger for upside, though. Until that, I think we chop between the two. Market remaining heavy. Back to that opening range. Sellers still in control for now down here, but they're going to need a reflush because there was a big sell at the low of day. You can see right here, 800 lot came through. What was that? At 89s. So basically 90s, just call it 90s. They need to get below 90s for sellers to remain in control here. And 100, the upside is where the guy got stuck before. So reclaim that, potential squeeze. But again, I'm not really thinking about upside potential until we get through 30s now. This is all heavy, heavy, heavy sell side in here. And squeeze will happen once these guys get taken out. And you can just, even regardless if you don't know where they are, the volume is there to show you. All right, that's their edge right now. This is where they're selling into at the moment. All right, if they get taken out, they're forced to cover. We get a squeeze above this. Until then, very likely that they're trying to get down to that old point of control, right, from value. If we hold value, this is buyers from yesterday. This is previous day buyers in here saying, nope, we don't want to go lower. We want to rotate. This will be the next checkpoint, though. So your location for short is getting worse and worse, but the momentum is there at the moment. You're welcome, Awani. Nice work. Nice. Lots of you making money here this morning. I mean, we're tighter range today, but that's how it is. Can they get a follow through here to the downside and let this seller have his way? It's coming. It is coming. They're attempting to get POC. I'm telling you, they really want POC. It's just whether they let them have it. Remember, this is an area bulls will want to defend down here. It's worth being aware of. It's an area bulls will want to defend down here. But I think they're trying to get that POC move down into. They're trying to get this stuff flush into this action here. Is what they're trying. This is a big level here. Can they get this move? It's what they want. They want to come and check yesterday's value, which is point of control. QQQ into higher time frame algo, 5 days, the next stop underneath. Remember, 30s will be the short squeeze trigger. I still think we're going to try and move lower first. You can just see it on the tape. They're trying to build for that move lower. Unless someone gets massively stuck at the lows. And at the moment, this guy's sort of okay for now. This big seller from back here, he's sort of okay. But if he gets squeezed out, it will change very, very quickly. Apple's starting to sell heavier now approaching 0.5% down on the day. Bit of a mixed bag. Come on, just come to point of control. I know you want to get there. Just come to point of control, and then we can assess what's next. Yeah, still not into its gap for me either. You wonder, because they've walked it down, do they squeeze out to 30, peak above 30, and then resell it? You wonder. Yeah, Sloth. I just 5 or 10 minute on the ETFs and VIX is fine because I'm only using them for a cash reference. Roscoe, I like the way you talk about your trading plan and logic live in stream. New here, so happy to find the site. Oh, nice, dude. Thank you for joining. Okay, so back into this big volume shelf. Remember, 30 is probably the squeeze trigger, but they can wick above that and then fail as well. So maybe starting to see this shift into buyers trying to take control. They are going to have to get above this POC, which I'm not convinced of right now. ES still underneath VWAP. SPY well away from VWAP. QQQ well away from VWAP. 130 will be the trigger if they're going to look to leave this. I'm not convinced there's enough excess down here at the moment. But let's see. Let's see. I still think point of control is possible. But it really depends if this huge seller here and 100, if these guys get their way, they want it here. That's what they're looking for. And we're rejecting point of control on the session so far now. I think it's coming, folks. It's very close to snapping and going for that move. You can see this big buyer. 1,500 lot at 70. I mean, the size we're talking about here is mental, isn't it? It is mental, the size we're talking about here. All right, still just tapping into lower day. Are they going to let this flush come? I want to see if aggressive sells come in here, and if there's no passive bid absorbing it, then I think we flush hard. Absorbing so far. Another sell side there, big sell side. One flush will do it. One flush them all out will do it. If they keep trying to absorb the tape here we come. It's coming. It's coming. Then move into that 70s, that 1,500 lot. There we go, like we talked about. All right, some covers here, runners only. Thanks for playing. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get point of control and previous day VWAP into 59s. Lovely. All right, and they're now bidding down below, so we can keep walking down to these guys. Aggressive selling coming here. They're in control of this market right now, these sellers. Why flip to the sell side? And we're looking for that move down into 50s and 37s here. Here's your cover point. All right, yesterday's VWAP is here right now, and POC. Make sure you're paying yourself on this move down, please. please make sure you're paying yourself on the move down, because your location is getting worse and worse. We're just going into a risk-off environment and profit-taking. They may well want to bid off previous day point of control. If they want to find a trap down here, if bulls want to protect this level, we talked about them protecting this, they failed to protect it. So the next level, look, we traded between these two levels. Now we're trading to point of control. They might do this, reclaim and go. I don't know, but we definitely built lots of volume here. These were all sellers. If they get their exit here, there'll be no more selling in here. That's where the squeeze can happen, which is why you must pay yourself on the way down. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I'm talking fast today, but I'm having to watch the tape and momentum a lot today because we're into some sort of tricky areas. If we zoom out, I can make this make more sense for you. All right, if we zoom out and you look at the H1, if you think about what we've done, all right, we've chopped in here like we talked about. I don't want to trade in here, but once we let go of that, where we're trading to this edge here, buyers may very well step in here. If they do, we can get that sort of quasi move back up if we get acceptance higher. So you've got to be covering into these levels. Now, if we let go of point of control, if they really want to rotate under here, yes, we can come and visit previous day's value, but I would not bet on that. And that would be a very ugly move in general for the market on a Friday. So we'll see money take money. And there you go. We're starting to see it. Exactly what I talked about. All right. And if they go reclaim here, if these sellers are no longer here, folks, because they've taken their exit at the lows, then the squeeze can be on back through 30s. All right. So I'm fully out of this now. I can just show you guys before I get told off. All right. Fully out of it, locking in $1,200 there on that move down. I did get a little piece on the way up. I did make a bit of money on the way up as well. So not now, earlier when we played that first bounce and then I sold back into it. So again, flow zones took control. I don't want to fight my flow zones. All right, I had a go at it for the early reversal. Didn't happen, joined in. Now, if we start reclaiming, if enough sellers got trapped at the lows, let's have a look. There's a bit of excess there, but we're starting, you can see, we're starting, if you look at Bookmap, we are starting to leave these buyers potentially trapped down below. All right, if we think about the big participants, let's think about where they participated. Look at this strong selling here, 1,300 lot. All these bubbles that look small are still 100 lots because that's so big. 692 lot, 193 lot, 144 lot. 292 lot. If we start bidding above these, and I'd say definitely this guy here who's at 99, let's just call it 100. Any hold above 100 and any break of 130 can start to trigger a bigger squeeze because you're going to get all those sellers at the lows caught offside because they didn't take their money off the table. All right. Let this develop now. You should probably be out of your shorts, or if you've had a very good entry, if some of you took this first bear flag breakdown up here, then by all means, you can afford to sit through this and wait to see if it develops. But if you joined me late where we had not as good location and we had to play aggressive for this move here, I would not be holding in here, all right? Because we can chop up and down and you're going to get frustrated. That's why I said you've got to pay yourself into that move down here. It's a bit weird because I had POC down here on TradingView, but I actually had it 68, yeah, 69, 60, 69, 68-ish on Ninja Trader. So that's why I was saying you need to be covering. Yeah, if you got wins with me today, let me know in chat. It's always useful for me to see, especially when I'm talking that quick. And I know I had to flip bias down there. But there we go. I'm not going to fight the tape. You would have seen that live today. Like, when sellers take control, if they're not going to get stuck, then what do I need to join? Like, if big whales are starting to take control, I want to join the slipstream of the whales. I'm not going to fight them. I don't have the size to fight guys who are willing to sell 1,500 lots on the market. No way. So I'd rather get right behind them. Thanks, Alex. I only need 500 to pass my 50k account. Nice, mate. Well, don't force it. Do not force it. You will have time. Don't force it in one trade or anything. Just take your time. Okay, the battle in here continues. You can see this volume built out here. All right, this is the battleground right now. This bell shape, all right? This is our distribution zone at the moment. We have a bit of excess here. I would have preferred that to have a nice long wick, and then I'd feel better about going upside, to be honest. A bit like yesterday. We talked about it yesterday. We always like that excess to be better. And yesterday, if we can go over the same example so you guys can remember, all right, I talked about this not being a strong low. I didn't like how we built off here. All right, and I felt good that we'd come back and take it. There is excess. You see the difference? Look at that nice long wick and aggressive move away from it. That is when you know a bottom is in. I would say at the moment, I'm somewhat unconvinced in this session. Yes, not quite the same. But imagine we had done this candle and then this nice candle, a long wick down here through it and poked around and turned away, and we had sellers caught down here and we moved up here. That's always better. It's always an easier read for upside then. But yeah, I'm not going to trade inside this here. I'm going to let this just develop now. Thesis is so clear with no ambiguity. No other channel does this for free. We're lucky. Yeah, thanks for joining, Unk. Psychosis with the win. Scott saying, very fortunate to be a part of here. Hey, dude, love trading with you, my friend. All right, more strong selling here. Big market order coming in here as well. These sellers are getting pretty aggressive here, trying to force it down at this point. It's almost like they're pissed off that we're not lower. This is very, very, very aggressive selling near low of day. There's a bid, passive bid here. Limit order sat at 75, 700 lot there. Then there's 100 lots offered below down at 37s and 6,000. So let's see. But these sellers are getting pissed off that we're not moving lower. They are getting pissed off. Peter with the win. Psychosis with the win. Silent with the win. Troy with the win. I have a win, but I can't stop trading. Hey, dude, you got to stop. You got to stop. Unless there's a setup there. You can see for me now, I've stopped. We did miss, I mean, according to TradingView, we missed this POC. According to NinjaTrader, we hit it. So, oh, no, we didn't. We didn't. That's changed. So what is that? Yeah, we should still trade to 50s if we're actually going to tap POC. What I'd be aware of, again, on the book map, the amount of heavy selling coming in here. Look, 894 lot. They're trying to come and clean these guys out. 692 lot, 292 lot. We're not moving lower. There is definitely a passive bid. So in here, so far, we have had a huge amount of aggressive selling. Huge amount. Look at these numbers here, and we're not moving lower. There is someone, i.e. a big whale at the moment, who's probably just buying like limit orders here, 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 and along, and he's not letting these guys get out. Right, so that's got to tell you something. If we get aggressive buying and we don't move lower, where I can get rid of these. If we get aggressive selling and we don't move lower, then we've got a passive buyer on the tape trying to absorb. It's not a big enough move away yet for me to think, okay, they've taken control. It's just a battle. And for anyone who's using NinjaTrader, if you followed my advice in that video that I did, I think it was last Friday, on the free order flow tools you can use, you will see even if you don't have Bookmap and level 2, you will see the aggressive sellers being displayed by the big red bubbles right now on your screen. Yeah, I'm just being patient at this point. I can see we're just trading between ranges. A squeeze is definitely possible. We've definitely walked this down. We haven't hit the target below, though, necessarily, but we're starting to taper, aren't we? If we think about this, aggressive move, sideways, all right? Once we break these levels here, squeeze is available back upside. We should mark this as red. I thought I'd already done it, but maybe not. All right, this is our breakdown level under Globex. Yeah, VIX, you're right. Sorry, I just see that. Yeah, VIX is now through PDC. It's possible to go PDH, and if it goes PDH, well, definitely the spiders will go risk off. Remember, Qs have relative strength just because of what's happened on Amazon. Amazon's still 10.70% up on the day. Yeah, Ron, yeah, it's the last video I posted, which isn't alive. I think it went out last Friday. If you just go to my videos, it would be there. You say my stream's down. Some of you saying my stream's down. Let me check. Wow, lots of people saying it's down. Must be their internet. Okay, I'm good. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, seems fine on OBS. And the battle continues. All right, value area on the day getting smaller and smaller. All right, you can see this condensed value area. This is where the battleground is. So really, technically, you're trading edges inside this value until it proves otherwise. We're going to get an initial balance set here in 14 minutes. Buyers trying to come in here. Just midpoint. We're right at value on the day. I don't want to be participating down here at this point of control. I'd rather see, if we're going to move away, I want to see us move away, hold a high low, and then we can start to bid up. Otherwise, not really interested. Don't want to get caught in range rotation. Remember, we talked about that at the beginning of the day on a Friday. The last thing I want to do is get caught in range rotation. This buyer needs to stop being such a wally, walking up, not getting filled, walking up, not getting filled, and then pulling it. And he needs to stop playing games, please. Mr. 841 lot. Stop your nonsense. It's a market provider, market maker. He needs to stop being an idiot. Yeah, Luna's great, man. She's doing good. I've been walking her a lot this week since my wife being away, so it's been nice. We've been doing long, hour-long walks. Her legs is good. She's fast asleep in my bed at the moment. The pitbull princess that she is. ES approaching VWAP. So ES came right to the top of its new week opening gap. That Sunday open, came to the top of it, found a bid. Is now trading between that new week opening gap and the VWAP. Got to think a squeeze is available here. They just need to take full control. And you'd want to see like some of the big names, like you'd want to see Apple find a bid. I know it had a huge earnings, but you'd want to see it find a bid for that move upside. To the top side now, little volume node here, acceptance over here. Maybe we try and go to 30s. I don't know. ES back to VWAP, still not through its VWAP. There is a potential squeeze here if they take control. There's no doubt about it, but you'd need to see like break out of this sort of sideways channel, and that can take a long time to do. Yeah, she's a pit, or she's a pit mix actually. She's like pit, lab, border collie, everything. All right, back down to previous day value area high and current point of control on the session. This market's going to have to make a decision soon enough. ES rejecting VWAP again. So Microsoft, Meta, Google, Apple all red. Amazon still 10.64% up. Nvidia still 1.25% up. Tesla 3% up. It's just those other names pulling back a little bit. That was a good absorption there off point of control. What are they doing with this? Make your mind up, guys, because we want to do something on a Friday. We don't want to just go sideways all day, please. Let's have some fun. Whatever you're going to do, let's have some fun. M5 looking kind of ugly here. You've got to think there's going to be so many stops up above this for a little squeeze higher into some of these shelves. It feels like they only need one shove to catch them at the moment. Back down. The battle continues in this ground. Remember, POC is still available. They didn't quite tag it. We're just trading, still protecting yesterday's value for now. It's a deeper shove back down into current value area low on the session. They're going to have to make some decisions soon. Are they looking for that POC? Seems like yes. Seems like yes. Lack of excess. Big sellers coming in here. They will need to take control now. This would be their last ditch to go lower at this point. Watching these sells through 100s. Where's that view up? 60s. We're getting close. I think they're going to go POC and view up now. They've probably caught enough there. New lower day on ES. ES coming back down into its gap. All right, let's swing for this then. Are we going to get moving? Here we go. There's the view up. Come on, you got to at least take point of control out. Don't be so pathetic. You really going to do lower day and then back up and wick? Is that the excess? No way you don't fill these guys down here. 50s. What's the POC on here? 70s. Yes, into its gap. I think there's going to be one more shove down here. The battle continues. If they reject current value on the day, which is where we're trading to now, they've still got unfinished business here. And the squeeze again will happen. The longs will happen for triggers sort of above 130s. Until that point, not really interested. I think there might be some more juice in this lower though. Don't feel like they've caught enough down there. The rotation back inside value, maybe back towards previous day value area high, recheck that and see if there's a seller there before they try lower. If there's no seller there, then they're going to get stuck, like we always talk about. Again, no position on this. I'm interested, but that is kind of nasty, just the sweep. And ES is protecting its new week opening gap. It's the first drive into it and it's found a bid. Ugh, just 30-point rotation. Are we really going to do that again on a Friday? We're going to go rotation for 30 points for hours. We've basically been here now since, yeah, 9:45. 9:45. Another 15 minutes and we would have been here an hour. This is silly. Silly, silly, silly. Come on, market. Get out of this zone, please. I'm definitely not giving my Friday up sitting here all day watching this. Come on, get out of the zone. It's a good response on ES at that gap. I'm somewhat surprised they didn't just finish the rotation to point of control. And there's not size here, 95s. It's not huge at the lows. We're right back to that average price of those big sellers again. Well, I'll miss the move if I do a bathroom break, and I'd like another trade, so I really want to do that. Well, squeeze trigger will be over 130 for sure if they can hold a bid over 130. Until then, we're in range rotation. You can see it. We're inside value. There's no edge here. We're going to trade up to this next node again, 12s or whatever it is. ES is protecting new week opening gap. It can't get through VWAP. All the VWAPs are pointing downside. We've not reclaimed anything yet. We're just in range rotation. All these sellers are hanging out up here, these smaller sellers. We are literally just stuck. Absolutely stuck. It's because overall the market is bullish. The earnings were really good. We've seen a pullback this morning off the earnings, which is normal. And we're not seeing buyers come flying back in for the squeeze yet. Yet. It is a yet. That might well change. So here's the test of that volume node we just talked about right here. If they can bid through this, they'll attempt to get to 30s. If we get through 30s, then we'll leave all the sellers underneath trapped. But I'm just unconvinced. Death chop is how I'd best describe this at the moment. VIX still sideways at PDC as well. And ES still cannot get through its VWAP. It's a good bid on QQQ off the 5-day. I only just see that. So they're holding that reversion. Are we going to get through the VWAP and start squeezing to 30s here? Is what I'm wondering. There's VWAP. Seller's still there. They're still hanging out there. All right, bathroom break. There you go. Maybe get the move now. Oh, guys, we're going to have to put a cutoff on this. 30 minutes. I'm giving this 30 more minutes. If we've not broken out either side of this range in 30 minutes, we're going to get out of here early. Cannot sit and watch this for all day on a Friday. What a complete waste of time. You can see it's a battleground. It's absolutely clearly a battleground. Can they squeeze up to 130? Do they bid over 130 for a re-squeeze all the way up to, I mean, we're fairly thin all the way up to 60s. That's what buyers are trying to do. Sellers, well, they keep trying to force the move down to previous day point of control. Can't believe they haven't hit that level, to be quite honest. It's pretty pathetic. I just bought 5 funding ticks for 52.50. Yeah, they're on sale right now. I probably should say that. Code FCT will get you, I think it's 50% off, and it ends tonight. Here come the buyers. They're trying again. They're just passive sellers here at 15, but these buyers are very, very weak not getting this squeeze. They want to get this squeeze through. They've got to get through VWAP. All right, they get through VWAP. We come to 30s. They get through 30s. We start squeezing bigger if they can base above. All right, here they go. They're now attempting. How many attempts have they had, though? They need to reclaim this area if they're going to force that squeeze to 30s. It's weak, man. This is very weak. Shouldn't be this hard, and it is hard, and that's telling you the markets can't make a decision. We should be going 30s, honestly, especially if ES can join in. But VIX is just basing out at PDC. Not a good look. So that wick above failed again. Sellers still up there, just absorbing every move. Come on, buyers. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. There we go. Thank you. Okay, let's go then. Let's see what we've got now. Okay, can you base above 30s? That's a question I'm posing for you. And if you can, we're going to go 50s and 60s. Big seller came in there and just got caught, by the way. Here we go. All right, so here's the squeeze up. Here's the 30s. TP1 here, and I'll re-add in if we can firm up over it. Come on. Come on. Get through these deep flow zone pullbacks. Get through them. You got to get through 30s or there's no bueno, no juice, no nothing. Stop faffing around, buyers. Step on the gas. You got to hurt these sellers underneath you. We're trying to hurt these short sellers. We're into value here. We need to expand value. So we need to get through 30s to get up to 50s and 60s, right? Through this level here will take us up into this block here. We know that this is supply up here where we got stuck. So it's got to get acceptance back through it. Come on. I'm very, very light in this because if we can't get 330s, then I can't size in because they can resell it. Come on. That reselling 30s again. They don't want it through it. It's the squeeze point for these shorts, I'm telling you. We get through 30s. If they don't protect it, there could be a nasty candle upside. It is the squeeze trigger for these shorts. A base above 30s, they are in big trouble. Big, big trouble. All right, think about what's happened here. Here we go. Come on, squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right, we talked about this tapering. All right, aggressive move down. Come on. Aggressive move down. Starts to go sideways and sideways. And big, big sellers coming in here. Did they ever get their way? No. They're starting to get squeezed out of here and here. And this can come straight up into this. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, buyers. Step on the gas, please. Come on, buyers. You've got to step on the gas. We want a squeeze. We're just playing for a squeeze upside here. You've got to step on the gas. I want 50s and 60s at this point. You need to protect 30s, and we want 50s and 60s. If they don't protect 30s, I don't care about it. They're so weak, man. Very, very weak. If this is a look above and fail, if we come back under VWAP, there's no long position here at all. If we come back under VWAP, it means this would be a look above and fail. They would have attempted the squeeze and failed, and we can make a new low of day. So they would need to hold bids above this transition point, basically above 115s. Failing to do that, it's not going to work out for the bulls. So they have to hold this pivot. They have to hold here. It's looking more like a range rotation if they fail this. All right, we want to expand this up here, basically. They need to hold this for this move. Failing to hold this opens up this big flush. All right, so don't be too biased on it. I know I'm having to play both sides today. That's the market we've got in front of us. You can see it up here. Lower time frame, bullish. Higher time frame, bearish. All right, so we're playing the counter trend squeeze leg at the moment, and then bears might come back in. Maybe they come in here, but they should come back in further up for that revisit. Watching QQQ as well. Come on, the Qs. We're into after hours pivot. I want to see us get to that pre-market low 23s. VWAP first on the Qs, which 33s, sorry, and then pre-market. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Pay me, baby. Come on. We want more. Come on. There's a little node here at 40. I want to get through that node at 40. Come on. Come on, baby. TP here into 50 if possible. That'll be your next TP, and then lower time frame algo. And if we get lucky, we go New York Open if they set a mega squeeze. Make sure you're paying yourself, please. See money, take money type environment. Come on, baby. Squeeze them shorts, baby. Spiders into VWAP. Just be aware of that. SPY into VWAP. QQQ approaching VWAP. All right. Nothing wrong with taking a little bit of money off the table here, folks. We don't know if they're going to... Who's your fucking daddy? Let's go. All we've done today is play trapped traders. That's all we've done. That's all we've done. Wait for them to be trapped. Play their pain point. Snipe. All these guys became our liquidity. It's why I don't like trading in chop when we do this, all right? But these guys got stuck. We were looking for this squeeze out, 30 reclaim up to VWAP. Thank you very much. There's your IB to VWAP trade, by the way, folks. Out of this now. This is it. I'm good. I am good. Thanks for playing. Absolute beauty. Who your daddy? I'm just being an idiot. I'm being an idiot. Nice work, team. What an absolute beauty. What a beauty. We don't get too biased, right? We don't get too biased. We knew, I mean, I wasn't that far wrong today. I felt like a chap could happen in here, but once we let go of previous day value, it made sense that they'd attempt to come back down to here. Now, if you want to go back through this video and talk about how I talk, and see how I talk about how we go level to level, you will see breakdown into this level, liquidity build into this level, attempt to build liquidity into this level, failure, reclaim this level. Now what? Squeeze to next level. Now the opportunity has gone, all right? Our long opportunity was in there. The pro trend, they might come and try and defend this and rotate back down. If they fail to get the rotation, we will go for that New York Open IB high. If they get the rotation, we have unfinished business here. So we played all these shorts. We played their pain point into here. If too many bulls here chase, and this market does want to go risk off, and Apple is about to go red to green, by the way. If too many bulls chase, you'll see that pull back inside. All right, so you can still be a runner in here. I'm done. I'm happy. The double bottom doesn't give you cause for concern. This I mean, it's not a double bottom. We did trade through it. And ES came, I mean, look at ES. ES came right into its new week opening gap. I'd have to go on a daily. All right, ES traded into, here is your Monday open. Friday close. Gap. We traded into it yesterday. We've traded it into it today. We're trying to bid out of it. And we're playing the trend in front of us. Like, why would I want to continue if we've gone from, oh, we need to get back to NQ. You tell me what side of the curve we now are. All right? I don't care about the fucking bottoms and this, that, and the other. What side of the curve are we? What has happened here? Why am I trying to short here when clearly the shorts have lost the momentum, the squeeze? We talked about all the volume in here, all right? There's literally tens of thousands of lots. We talked about guys here, 1,000 lot, 1,000 lot, 800 lot. Did they complete their rotation? No. Where is their pain point? Well, where's the obvious swing high? Where's their wicks? Okay, well, guess what? We're now buy side of the curve. This will end at some point, potentially. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe this is one giant trap under here to go back to all-time highs, which is very, very possible. Because if we zoom out, we're nothing more than in a range. And this can definitely build a quasi. I don't think it does it today. But this pullback held, it repriced, it hit an old POC. We've pulled back in, we've held POC, we've held previous day's value. We are bidding above yesterday's value. Every short from yesterday is stuck. Do you understand that? Every single short player from yesterday is stuck. It's why my bias this morning come to the chart. I wanted to be long on a trap because here's yesterday's volume. How many people are short in there going, we're up too high, we're gonna break down, it's going to zero. Think about the guys who've been picking tops non-stop. They finally get a fucking tiny pullback, which they think is huge. I mean, it is laughable. Off the high, we pulled back a whopping 2%, and they're like, oh, the world, it's collapsing, it's done. I'm short now. I'm permanently short. I'm short in here. As of yesterday, I'm short. I knew it's going to be horrible. Yeah, guess what? I'm going to eat you up and we're going back to highs, all right? So this was your clue. This is why this morning, Nihal, this morning I was like, I want to be long on a bear trap. I want to be long on a bear trap into these levels. There's a reason we care about these levels. There's a reason I mark out the previous day value area high and point of control, because this is the point in which I think somewhere in here I assumed a bear trap would happen. It happened down here, right? There's value, there's POC, there's the trap. They don't get their way, we drift away from them. I don't know how far this goes. It's a Friday. If we were in a pro trend and we had some positive data, what would I be banking on? Well, I'll tell you what, give you a little bit of edge here. When was the all-time high made? What time of day was that? I can tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't in a New York session, which means what's likely to happen according to data. Here's your edge. That will not be the all-time high. There's less than 1% chance that that will be the all-time high. Just saying, for all those people who are convinced the top's in, Mr. YouTube picking the top for 3 months, convincing his followers, all right, it's very unlikely he's correct. Very unlikely. All right, folks. Beautiful trade. This is a beautiful trade. I mean, I should have just... This is actually poor for me. I should just be holding for expansion. But here you can see the next area where we sort of did a stop-start this morning. All right, this becomes key. You might stop-start in here. You can see the volume in here. If you can't see it here, you can identify it here. So TP here. Here's your lower time frame algo. All right, now do they sell this or do you get that move back to New York Open? I don't know, but you should have made sure whether you got this breakdown, which I didn't take but did call out for you this morning, whether you took this or a scalp here or this short with me or this long with me, you have had opportunity to make money today. Lovely. Nice work, bud. So you took the short down and the long back up. Beautiful work. You've got to be paying yourself. Folks, you have to be paying yourself. But I tell you what, who would I not want to be in this market? The person I'd least want to be is the short sellers down there. We kept talking about it. If they get trapped, we can go to Bookmap, make it make sense for you guys, make it visual. I think Bookmap helps it become visual. Let's zoom out. And pull this right down. All right, I'm pulling this up just so you can see. Where is the biggest selling on the day? It's the sell side of the curve. And look at these numbers, all right? 26,115, 26,098, 26,75, 26,098, 26,76, 26,97. So underneath 100, we can include 116. So underneath 115, we have huge amounts of volume. Well, guess what happened here? Can you see them getting squeezed? Can you see how we flip from sell to buy? This is these sellers now getting caught. Why are they market orders on the way up? Because when you cover your short position, i.e. when you get squeezed, you become a market buyer. We are squeezing them out. Look down here on the right. Look at the session volume profile. Look at 100 and below. Look at the difference between the sell side and the buy side. How much aggressive selling, even down here into 87, all the way down, how much aggressive selling are you seeing under 100? A lot. Look what happens when we get back above 100. Oh, buyers are starting to take over, all right? That is these participants getting squeezed out. Sellers trapped, buyers taking control. It's the easiest way for me to explain it, I think, to make it nice and big and visual for you. Or at least for me. I'm a visual learner, so hopefully that made sense. Well, your next target's up here. I feel like a wally for not holding at this point, but there we go. Exactly, Scott. Rounding bottom, nice rounding bottom, tapering at the lows, rounding bottom. All right, lower time frame algo here. Mr. Lower time frame algo is here. That pink line on your screen. Same on ES, Mr. Lower time frame algo. ES is also coming into its 5-day. So 5 days above us as resistance on the ES. It's below us as support on the Qs. What a beautiful move, man. What a beauty. Well, we got out of that range, which is good. 10 minutes till a new H1. Let's get those likes up, folks. Honestly, let's get those likes up. I try and give you so much edge here for free. Let's get in a habit of just smashing that like button and sharing this stream on your socials for me would be appreciated. It's not been an easy week trading for most, but I think we've made pretty good decisions together on stream this week. We've made some great money in probably a week where I think most traders have really struggled. Now for the handle, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Build it out. It can afford, I mean, we're building out lots of liquidity here. It can afford to backtest lower. Remember, this is a straight squeeze out. It's very possible that, I mean, if they don't want to let any of them out, they do this. But if they want to do a deep pullback, we can still do this. And that can still be a deep handle. It's possible. But we'll see. At the moment, these shorts are well and truly cooked. So all this logic and the Ninja Trader will teach me to fish. And the Ninja Trader indicator. Well, all this logic that I teach, yes, I will teach you how to fish. I do my best in teaching you how to fish. There's tons. I know you're new here, Roscoe. There's tons for free on my YouTube. Don't feel like you have to jump straight in and do the course. Like, make sure you like how I teach and explain things first. Maybe I'm not the right mentor for you. Hopefully I am the right mentor for you. Hopefully you like this community. But if not, I totally understand. You don't part with your hard-earned cash unless you like how I teach. But yeah, tons of stuff on my YouTube for free, and then there's some courses on my website. And then if you like the indicators, then those are also available. All right, so back towards these flow zones. Let's see if they do a little shallow pullback and absorption to go back towards that New York high, or if they're going to offer that deeper pullback back to value. Watching the mag as well, obviously still watching the mag. We can give a little readout on the mag, and we can even, in fact, we can have a little look and see what they are, because they are dictating the market today. So Apple, you'll see pulling back. Right, it's still up massive. Just remember, we're just back off earnings, right? So some profit taking off earnings. We were heavily extended. I did sell a tiny piece into that, but holding majority of my position. Amazon still up huge, right? Even with this pullback, you've got to zoom out, guys, right? It is a monster breakout. We expect to pull back. I see this a bit like AMD. Those of you who are here when I traded AMD, I'm still in it long. We had that big gap update. As long as we hold some of the gap, we're going to look for continuation trades, all right? Very similar to what we did in the gap up days in AMD. All right, once we broke out here and here, same thing. As long as we hold pullbacks, we look good for continuation grind. Goog collapsing, coming back down to earth. All right, it's probably coming to a 61 fib. There's your lower high, and it's coming back down inside this. By the way, was beyond a 3 standard deviation. If you look at the daily, it's you're not going to sustain bids like that, folks. Right, this would have been better to do something like this. When we do parabolic moves like that, it's always going to come back down to earth. Meta continuing to sell after that earnings debacle. All right, but still inside yesterday's range right now. So Meta, you're watching for a breakdown or a fail breakdown. So either a fail breakdown or a breakdown and rotation down. So still weakness there. Microsoft trying to find a bid inside the last 2 days of value. So there's the earnings pivot. We've just traded inside of that for 48 hours now. No follow through either side. Nvidia starting to come back down towards 200s, which it's protecting. You would say this looks pretty bullish in general on Nvidia. All right, new all-time high. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If it can pivot and get back above here, squeeze to new all-time high as possible. So it's still holding up okay. And Tesla, fantastic. I mean, that is probably timed perfectly with the market squeeze today. It's the same thing. Shorts in Tesla were trying to say, hey, we're up too high. We've got to come down to earth. And guess what? That is your old buy zone. That's your pullback. And this is going back for those highs now. So that's probably giving the Qs a big boost right now, I would say. Yeah, totally, Scott. Very good example. Very good example. Take care, Peter. Have a great weekend, my friend. JJ took money on the long there. Thanks, Alex. I expect a pullback now with the new H1 bar. Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes to the H1. We expect to pull back after a squeeze. I mean, lower time frame, you would say that's pretty much a parabolic squeeze. It just went straight upside, not much structure. We do expect to pull back. And then whether it holds current value area high on the session into 42, or whether it needs to drift lower just through this like low volume node and come back down into here, we will see. So either it's going to hold here or protect this volume node somewhere in here for a new squeeze higher, or we drift down into here. It will need to make its mind up. But you see how we're struggling at the lower time frame algo right now. We're back into liquidity building stage because we're between lower time frame algo and higher time frame algo at this point. Where is Mr. Higher time frame algo? I haven't seen him for a minute. There he is. Right here. Oh, we're very tight. Oof. Okay. This is liquidity building stage in the market overall. I didn't see that. That was so tight. Yeah, it's an interesting level. Hit your daily go, Adam. Nice work, mate. Nice work. No idea, Mo. Yeah, I see them talking about that. No idea. I mean, if he has to sell stock, then it would be bearish. Because what would that be, like a quarter of the size of the company? Right, new H1 come in. So last H1 made a new low, traded back inside. We're just coming back into areas of liquidity. All right, so make sure you're zoomed out. Last H1 made a new low, held this pivot, traded back inside to this level. This is our build level now. Acceptance back through here, highs are possible. Failing here, rotation back down is possible. Underneath here, rotation to previous day value, but it doesn't look probable at the moment. I know this looks very messy, but this is the structure. Okay, that's your structure right now. We don't want to get long into this. That's why I wanted a bear trap. Go back to the very beginning of today's lesson. I wanted a bear trap in here for this move. I think I even said it on stream. This move here. My first move is always the first drawing is always the first thing I want. Pretty accurate, right? Into POC and a bid off. I think we say it above. 150 to 90 will need to be defended by bulls if we're going to hold this market up into previous day value. Not ideal. Not looking to execute here. Considerations, but needs time to develop. And then where do I talk about the bet? Here we go. Market super bullish off earnings, all-time high target, as it wasn't made in New York. Issues is we're late to the party, so we're going to need a bear trap to play. We have an inverse head and shoulders building and playing out. If we're lucky, we get a previous day value area high test, but it feels like the squeeze has already started. It might not come back given the strength of tech. Fortunately, we came back there, didn't we? So we got the bear trap and the squeeze. Again, planned out ahead of time. Maybe you guys couldn't see that. I don't know. I'm on the wrong chart. There. That was my morning briefing to my team. Right, this is why it's important to have a plan before you come to the market. Before you come to the market, we had this planned out. Here is what I was looking for. Drawing number one. Drawing number two is if we get acceptance below or acceptance above. But this is the first play I was looking for today. These were given well before the market open. All right, so just understand the importance of having a plan. It's so important. That's why I ignored that first short today, folks. I told you it's probable it's going to go down there, but for me, I have a very set thing I'm looking for. All right, starting to hold this pivot and starting to get back through this volume here. Very much looking like a potential flag for upside here. Would have preferred a two-leg down, to be honest, but it's starting to look like a flag for upside here at the moment, with that New York Open being the target. New York Open is your initial balance high. That's your high of day. So you're holding flow zones here. It's starting to look very, very bullish for a re-squeeze. Two leg would be more preferable. Why? Because we trap more people in. Right, so if we're going to complete this, something like this would be more preferable. Yeah, already got our money for the day, Camus. Already made our money today. Apex giveaway. We can think about it if we get these likes up. If we get the likes up, Eric, we can think about it. Did we? Let me check Globex before I forget. So pre-market high, low. All right, we're trading at 50% of the range as well. From that sort of 8 a.m. high, or whatever it is, 8:20 a.m. high to low of day. We're trading right at 50% of the range. Maybe we get into the 61, which would be 192s, which would basically be the New York Open. We'll see. Maybe one more shove up into there. Here it comes. They can't get through that lower time frame algo at the moment. So new H1 here. I'd watch to see if they put a new H1 high, and if they fell above that H1 high, I'd be very careful for a failed breakout. So your current H1 high is 82. If we can get above that, ideally you get that move into the 200s, and then I'd be risk off if any of you are still holding your long positions. Looking good. For you guys holding, you look good. Once you get through lower time frame algo, you should come and take out that H1 high at 82. Just be careful if ES does it first, and then if it fails. But you should be get that continuation at this point. Especially if Apple goes red to green, that will really give you a boost. I'm going to get a piece of fruit. I'll be right back here, folks. Just keep your one eye on VIX because it's still basing around that PDC. A little bit of an alarm bell with that doing that. Again, no position for me, by the way, folks. In case I haven't made that clear. Took that money on the way down and on the way up. I'm done. It's possible this needs a two-leg pullback. It's trying to build liquidity here. You can see this volume. All right, if buyers protect this in this little low volume node, then you'll get that move. If they let go of it, they can afford to drift all the way down into here. So hopefully you should be managing your position from your longs here, and then you can afford that two-leg, and they can add back in on a reclaim at that point if it does it. My bias is upside, but your location is not ideal now for a new money position. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, Kenneth, I just see your email. Resending it now, buddy. They're still protecting the edge of this volume. If they're here much longer, POC is going to move up. If they're here much longer, they've been here a long time now. What's everyone's plans this weekend? No dressing up for me, mate. No dressing up for me. I'm not doing anything. It's boring, isn't it? There was a little party where I lived last night. I popped my head in for a minute, but yeah, no dressing up for me. Who are we playing this weekend, Adam? I haven't even looked. Are we a Sunday game because we played Cup midweek? Burnley. I'll watch 8 a.m. maybe. I want to watch the England game. I'll watch that 8 a.m. I'll watch that tomorrow morning. You're going to climb a mountain, Roscoe. Where do you live? What are you climbing? Fall fishing. Sounds good. Lots of you getting outside. It's important. We're into that low vol pocket here. If they let this go, it's got room to come down and still offer a bullish pullback. So just be careful. Remember, we're at 50% of the overall swing. So it's not a good location here. I can show you in case you're not understanding. Right, of the overall swing. Banging 50%, folks. It can offer a pullback back down into this, basically. So low volume node here. It's a bit thicker here into 49s. If they fail 49s and 50s, they can afford a pullback into 30s. So just be careful if you're managing your position at the moment. The book's gone to sleep a little bit. It will wake up, but it is a Friday. I know. VIX is still pushing. I know, it's what I'm saying. You've got to be careful. Oh. There's lots and lots of people calling for this to be the top of the market. There is some terrible signs based on breadth and stuff, and usually it can signal something, but the market's not ready to let go, and anyone who's picking tops in this market has quite simply not learnt their lesson. You know, quite simply not learnt their lesson so far. So I wouldn't want to be a top picker in this market. I mean, we can afford to close that whole gap and come back to like 25,000 200 and still be very, very bullish overall. So just, it's not worth being one of those guys, even with the VIX pushing. Like when we get backside, we'll play backside on the market. I'm happy to be a short seller on this market. I'm happy to take SQQ long. Not when it's not ready, though. You know, there's really, you know, there's not much bearish about this market right now. I would argue until we leave buyers trapped up here and we fail here, and even then, you know, we've created so much structure. Like, we're frothy up here, but it can afford to come back down here and find a bid. So yeah, I'm not the one for picking a top. Played that game when I first started trading. It never ends well. Maybe 1 in 1,000 times it will end well. Most of the time it will not end well. Apple still sideways. Meta, these are all sideways at lows. Meta sideways. Microsoft has caught a bid. If it can hold its next pullback into VWAP, that looks encouraging. Amazon's trading down towards low of day. Google has found a bid and looks good. You've got a mixed bag on the mag. Nvidia's trading downside underneath VWAP. And Tesla maybe is putting its high of day up here above initial balance if it can't hold it. So it has peaked above previous day high. I'm just not really interested in this market right now. We're not seeing the mag in all alignment at the moment. And it's a Friday, end of month. It's somewhat unlikely we're going to make a new high today. Very, very possible we just close up here and wait for next week. And we made our money, right? We made our money. Yeah, no worries, Zar. See you Monday. Last day of the month and it's Friday. We could see some bigger moves before end of day. Maybe. But I just don't see a reason right now for... Remember, tech has been the driver in this market. The breadth is terrible. There's no doubt about it. I don't see a reason for bulls to get out their positions right now in this market. It's the one thing. I just don't see a reason for that to happen until they get a reason to get out. And it might be data. Maybe when the gov comes back, there's some shaky data. I don't know. But right now, it doesn't seem like much of a reason for them to get out their positions. And I wouldn't be adding up here either as a bull. So we're probably in sort of a stagnant market until we get some form of catalyst. So yeah, PSC shifted up top now. So lots of volume up there. So we're thin between these two levels. Look at the profile, right? Thick volume, fair price on the day at the moment right here. It's most traded price, and then thin, and then we thicken up down here where we've had buyers take control. All right, so this is kind of no man's land, but the structure could offer something like this later in the day, maybe, unless we complete this and we get stuck here. If we get stuck here, I'd be very bearish. But if we protect that, we should try and complete a rotation. But right now, like we talked about, 50% of the swing is not a good area to be thinking about. The longs were down here, like we talked about this morning. And maybe if we get going, you never know. They might turn the boosters on. It's only 100 points higher to come and take out that swing point. You never, ever know, do you? Anything's possible. VIX is still pushing upside. This is the problem for me. VIX wants to take out previous day high right now. That is not a good look, folks. That is not a good look. We pivoted at 1048. We pivoted upside the same time that the market pivoted upside. We should not be doing this. This is a warning sign. It's not good. Should not be doing that. Yeah, pull back to 120. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, almost there. Gex level 150. On what? On the Qs? Really? So we're in positive gamma right now, is what you're saying? Squeeze is on then. Apple's trying to go red to green. Apple's like trying to find a bid. It wants to go red to green. It's testing its PDC. If it gets through PDC and VWAP, anything over 72s can offer a squeeze back up to previous day highs. That's what Apple's trying. The setup's not good because it's 2 legs off the bottom, so it's in a consolidation. Protecting PDL stuck between IB low, 5-day, PDL, PDC, and VWAP is just a little bit ugly. VIX starting to turn around here a little bit. You might get a new squeeze up here, I think, by the looks of it. But that lower time frame algo keeps appearing. It keeps appearing. I think they want the New York Open. Yeah. Man, this VIX is strong, even at that level. You'd imagine it's just going to take out previous day high at this point. Kind of bonkers. Something's going to give here. They can't keep bidding everything up. I mean, they can do what they want, but it's very dangerous. Apple trying to go red to green here, folks, like we just talked about. Man, if they squeeze through value, we're going to go those 200s. Crazy. Just reply to these guys. Where's my email? Sorry, guys. I can see some of you have emailed me. Let me get around to this and Discord. My apologies. Just seeing it now. Looks like we're going for that 200. We're going for that open. If we get through that, I cannot rule that out, that high, if we really get motoring here. You just can't. You can't rule it out. It's a big if. There's that H1 high we talked about. And there's a seller up there at 26,200. I want to reply to you guys, but I'm just finding it interesting what's going on here. Is there someone stuck in this? Apple almost there. It's almost closed its gap and got through. Very close. Do they sell this now into that close price. Yes, a little pullback off that close price. It's a horrible look on Apple. We did just take that H1 high on the market. Apple now through the close price or right back up to it. What is Meta doing? Not looking good. Microsoft doesn't look too bad. You know, if those weak names catch a bid, you want to be careful. But the main thing is the VIX is the problem right now. There you go. There's a pullback inside. Okay. So back down to point of control. And if they flush this all the way back down, maybe. Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly out here at the moment. Yeah, Apple selling PDC. It's really dangerous, the rotation here. I can show you. That can be a giant flag stuck in this range after profit taking. And none of the other names look great either. VIX still holding up above PDC, not a million miles away from previous day high, and we did just take that H1 wick. And I don't know. I'm unconvinced in this market right now for anything else possible today. It just feels like it's in a bit of no man's land now, where we don't have time frame alignment and agreement. Back to the edge. If they snap this, that move to 120, 130 can come. ES back to view up as well. Apple can't get positive on the day. Google now attempting to do the same thing. Got through it and is pulling back. Let's have a look at the others. Amazon near the lows. Nvidia selling. Tesla looks like it's putting its top like we talked about. Oh, it doesn't look good out there, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't look very pretty out there right now. I don't think there's any edge left in the market at the moment unless something changes. What a chop fest. Yeah, it's very possible. Sorry, seen someone. Golden pocket back down to previous day value area high. I mean, it's very possible we come and check some of this. We're thick down here. We're very thick down there, so it's possible. I mean, look at VIX. VIX still pushing. ES pulling back inside. Apple's having another attempt to go in red to green. Google's having another attempt to go in red to green. I just don't think there's any edge here in the market, guys. There's nothing. We're just trading at a value area node here, a high volume node. No acceptance above it. We're trading inside of value today. Your value's just moved up a little bit. VIX going for it, man. I don't know. VIX is going for it. VIX is going for previous day high here. Back to the edge. If they snap this, they can come back down and test that VWAP underneath. It's a big if, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be putting risk on the table right now, given where we are at the swing point, what we've just done on the H1, etc., etc. There could be a move coming here. Right to the edge. So they're still absorbing this, but there's no follow through downside, no follow through upside, just chop. There is a possible move down to the 30s if they let go, but if they keep absorbing, we just go back to the 61, check that through to 61, back to the top side. Like, it's just this cycle, very much like what we did down here. They're just going to do this same cycle here. Like, ask yourself, like, what's your edge here? What was the edge here? The edge came once we got outside. The edge will come once we get outside. I don't like how we're building this here. But the VIX, really, we should be playing downside. The market's not doing it, but really, like, based on what the VIX is doing, we should be going for a heavier move down because the VIX is pushing right now, and ES is starting to let go. Here you go. So you're starting to see a little bit of a heavier move down. Okay, interested. Has to stay heavy. Can't have acceptance back into the range it just broke out from. That would be a failed look below. It needs to stay heavy here. If this look below and fails, then it's just a little sweep of all the buys here getting convinced to be sell, and if we turn back inside, then they go back up. And this is the low volume node here. We can get rid of that. Right, the main volume. Is here, and this is the low volume node. This is the area that buyers will want to protect, and if they fail to protect it, we go straight down. VIX again approaching previous day high. Like I said, you can't play upside when the VIX is doing these moves. Like, I'll be honest, we should be flushing pretty hard here. Yeah, it's starting to come. They're late. They're late to the party. There you go. There you go. There's your move. There's your move. So if any of you took that breakdown, you should be covering some into this start of the volume. It was delayed. It was so delayed on the cues. Like, VIX is really motoring. It's delayed on the cues. Inner sell from 160. Yeah, very nice. Makes sense, mate. Makes sense. You can pay yourself a little bit into this edge here that you're coming into. You got that New York VWAP, low volume node. If you get a further flush to like 110 and 100, fantastic. But if we start, I tell you what, bulls need to hold somewhere in here for this. If they fail, right, and we come in here and go sideways, right, this is going to open up a bigger flush down, right, because we would have built liquidity, failed. Buyers probably come back in at high. Remember, I said don't be buying up here. Our buys were here selling into this, right? A two leg and a return in is better if we're going to offer a buy. You should be all out now. Anyone who is long here should be out now. And this return into here needs to be bid up. If they don't and they go sideways, we will use this liquidity, these trap buyers, and we will trade lower if we get stuck down here. Very nice. Very nice. I'd say the one thing it did do, I mean, that is gross, but we talked about if this H1 takes this high, which it did by a tick, I mean, it's kind of gross, but you would prefer that, all right, and then a trade back down. And obviously, if we break lows down here, all right, what do we have? This is your H1 pullback leg that we played upside, and if we break this low, this is your continuation short down into this for the rest of the day. I won't be here for it, but if you're playing that move, respect the IBs, please. Make sure we respect the balance today. Sorry, I was trying to catch up with some of you who are asking. Clint's. Oh, someone else has shared it. Okay, great. Do I have a picture of my desktop with all the screens? I can do it for you, Awani. I'll do it in a bit for you. Okay, TP here for you. You can see the buyers on the tape here at 25s and 20s. Please make sure you've paid yourself. You're in internal range today. You can hold runners for weakness below. Please make sure you're paying yourself. It's a really nice move. This is what should have happened more aggressively, really. But these are into some of your cover points here. You can see the start of an edge of a bit of volume here. So you've traded through the thin volume. You've filled this in now. All right. If they want to protect this area here, remember the breakout point for us for the big squeeze was 130. Breakout, back to it. They might bid back up and check this. If they set a lower high here, then we can think about more position down. If they reclaim this, then upside becomes possible. VIX's still going. It is still going. Here you go. So there's your cover point. Nice work, team. Nice work, especially those playing just the basic flow zone method. Very, very simple. And you will need to see this protect where you just broke down from. All right. It will need to protect where you just broke down from. You want these buyers above here to remain trapped. If they don't remain trapped above here, all right, then a squeeze is on. But if they keep these buyers stuck, then we can move lower. But yeah, easy money on that trade just got made. So straight back up. I'm going to use one more bathroom break, and then hopefully when I come back, we need 15 more likes here. We'll do a giveaway of a course and an Apex account. And then I'll see if I've got the energy to stay with you into lunch or not. Okay, they protected it. There you go. That was the lower high. They just protected it. So if you get continuation, you will get a lower low here, and you can get an aggressive move lower back towards where we found buyers this morning. And if they reclaim that volume above, obviously, then no move down. So that was your first reaction, first retest of that area. Just as we went to the bathroom, we talked about that. If you fail here, you should come back down. If you get a new lower low here, you should drift all the way back down into sort of the 100s. This is now the battleground. All right, buyers need it back above this to find acceptance. Sellers want a breakdown here into here. So sellers must protect this and get follow through into here for continuation. Failing to do that, sellers will get trapped and they will get squeezed out above this point, sort of here now. How's it going? It's going good. We had a good day today. Good day today. VIX approaching previous day high here, so just be careful. They front run that last time. If the VIX starts squeezing through that, we'll get some more downside action here. Big ifs right now. It's stuttering a little bit short of it. We did fail here a few times yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on a 5-minute. You should have already paid yourself though on this move down, folks. You should be runners to see if you get expansion. And if you get lucky, we go low of day. It'd be really nice. Here's your VWAP retap. VIX still pushing. Still looks good, folks. You still look good. Hold this runner now. Let's see if you can get down to where this volume came back into the 110s, somewhere around that. Here's your expansion. Come on, VIX. Do it for them. Do it for them, VIX. They're still trying to absorb VWAP at the moment. If that lets go, you might get a bigger move sort of underneath it. Your volume in here is your target. So that would be TP2. TP3 would be down here, and TP4 would be right down into this. VIX failing up there. All right, just like it did yesterday. It just came just shy of it. BU still in with a runner. Nice work. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tonio. But hey, you still made some money, and that's all that matters, right? You made some money. You didn't lose money. Still look good here. Come on, VIX. Do it for them. I want you guys to get paid big here. So coming into the edge. Be nice if they let the air out of the balloon here for you guys. It'd be really nice if you got a low of day. I'd be super happy for you guys. There you go. Here's your expansion into towards these first cover points here. Here's your expansion. Nice work, team. Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit here, please, into this blue box, into this high volume node. If you get acceptance under here, remember, then I think we'll make a new low of day. We still have untested point of control, and value area low from yesterday is possible if they want to go into profit taking in the afternoon. Bang, here's your opening range low. So please, 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 you should be paying yourself. We talked about this with the VIX pushing. We talked about this breakdown. Even before I left you for the bathroom, I said, if it fails this, it's a re-add back down into here. Look, fantastic, guys. You guys are making good money here. Really nice trade. You're into volume here. Do not be greedy. All right, do not be greedy. Hopefully this flushes all the way down, but you must be paying yourself some money. It is a cover point here. Omalabi, green, 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 green. Win, 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 win. I love it. Michael T, I just passed 40 of hours. Nice work, buddy. Congrats on the shorts, everyone. Hey, Omalabi, you're welcome, bud. You're welcome. Actually, this was probably the easiest trade as when I was in the bathroom, but we talked about it before, didn't we? Right, because we left buyers trapped. All right, think about all the volume we left trapped up here, how thin we were in here. Right, so once this fails, where's it going to go? That's it. That's confirming they're trapped. That is your short back down into this area. This is your easy money trade from here to here. Anything beyond that is a gift. But the easy money was made from this volume to this volume. That is your easy money trade because we have no structure in there. We expect that to come down. Anything beyond this now is amazing and a bit of a gift. VIX through previous day high, folks. Oh, you might get a flush. Here's previous day high now. Previous day value area high here now for you guys. As long as you've paid yourself, you can keep holding. You can keep holding. As long as you've paid yourself, you can keep holding. I would love it if this just let go of the whole thing. It'd be hilarious. You guys would be in a monster trade at that point. VIX really starting to push. It's really starting to motor. So 1750 next stop, and then it's got an old high, 1759. I'm going to have to zoom out to see what above that. 1759 break. 1770. Oh my God, it gets nasty, guys. 1835. So a clean 1759 break, and this market might be in trouble. So hold on to your runners. You are extended here on that first move down, remember. TP2 hit. Yeah, nice, Noah. Nice work. The buyers at the high, stuck right now. This is where we found bids this morning. If we come under this, oof, oof, you guys will have a lot of fun. Come on, VIX, do it for them. Get outside of 59s, VIX. Do it for them, please. It would be so fun. I'd love you guys to make like millions on stream. It's going for it. It's at 50s. I'm telling you, it breaks 59s. Oh my God, market is risk off at that point. This is looking really bad for bulls right now. You guys look really, really good. You guys look really, really good here for continuation. Remember, your entry's so good. You guys are short from 150s. So you're up 60 points right now. Yeah, well, there's a good chance we find bids here, but I'd say it looks very, very weak. I wouldn't be adding short here, for example, but if you're still holding, you should be good. There's no reason to cover your runner at the moment. We've not had a reclaim of any key level right now. And VIX is there. 59s is coming up, folks. 59s on the VIX is coming up. Here's your flush. Low of day is possible here, folks, for you guys. And if you get through previous day point of control, if you get under 500s, your next cover point is 980. If you get under the 50s, if you get under 2650s, your next cover point is 25,980. Nice, Noah. Good work. Yeah, good work, everyone. You're doing good. You guys are doing great. I'm proud of you. You didn't even need me here. You took it while I was in the bathroom. I called the market makers and I was like, my guys are short. Sell it now. Sell everything you've got now. They want a full panic mode down to previous day value area low. In fact, they want a new week opening gap fill. Nice, guys. Yeah. Lovely work, team. It was worth hanging around for, eh? It was worth hanging around for. I'll send you my address. You guys can send me a cigar when you get a new week opening gap fill. Guys, if you got that, it'd be hilarious. You would, if they did that move. They're not going to do that move, but if they did that move, that would be 25, 500. 500 points on the way. Yeah, it is no reason to cover yet. There's no reason to cover your runners yet. You look good. You currently just rejected previous day value area high. You're trading back down. ES is coming into its new week opening gap. All right, ES is coming into its new week opening gap. You are coming into an area where we trapped sellers this morning and we found buyers off. So that is no doubt. We can afford a drift all the way back up to here, even if it wants to set a lower high. All right, it can afford to build out structure here or under here. Looks good. ES getting very close to low day now, folks. Very close to low day here on ES. VIX is through that level. I'm telling you, VIX is through 59s. This could get very nasty very quickly. They're going to wiggle here. They are panic. They are in panic mode. They're like, look at this bid. This can get nasty quickly. They've got to protect it. They have got to protect this level. They know VIX is just broken out of a huge level. If it goes, I can show you what I'm looking at on my side monitor. There's the reprice, right? Oh my days. right? This is the problem right now that they're having. VIX is breaking out of a pivot, and its next pivot is all the way up here. All right, and this is big problems if it starts getting up here. So here's your lower high, just got set again. We just talked about this move back up and potentially setting a lower high. You do have excess on that low now. You want to be careful. Oh my days. Look at that, straight back upside. Holy moly. Wow, some serious size on the tape. Was there any news on that, or is that just a squeezer? That's mental. Yeah, that's mental. They knew. I'm telling you, they knew down here. If VIX keeps going, they're fucked. They knew this point here was when VIX broke 59. It's sat at 58 now. If they let VIX go, right, and they didn't save this, you guys were coming straight down here. No doubt about it. That was like a last-ditch attempt. Like, do not let this through. Yeah, I don't see any new. I think it's just a short squeeze. I think that was a short squeeze at the lows and huge buying coming in. If you look at the tape, look at this tape at the lows. I can move you across. It's still not over yet. VIX is still holding up. How do I get you to bookmap? All right, just walking down. Look at these covers: 147, 185, 31, 100, 18. They tried to resell it, bought again, 100, 40, 100, 120, 40, 70. Thin. These moves are thin. This is violent. This is violent action. They know this is their last chance. They have to save this, otherwise they are in big trouble. They are well aware of that. VIX is holding up. So as long as you paid yourself, you might well have got knocked out on that. That was a big move up, but you should have made money on that way down. Like we were talking about, we're into volume down here. You should have made money on that way down. And anything beyond this is a bonus. That's Trump news. Is Trump. Trump saying, I would like to get rid of the extra 10%. He's talking about China. Oh, he timed that well to save the market, didn't he? Is he fucking having a giggle? He timed that as well as possible. I'd love to get rid of the extra 10%. Yeah, stop loss save lives, man. You got to have hard stops in. I talk about it all the time. Importance of hard stops. We're right back down to that same level again, though. And VIX is still holding up. This does not look good for the bulls. Obviously, Trump's now talking, so being somewhat careful about doing anything at this point. If you still manage to hold through that, if it didn't knock out your runner, then maybe you get lucky for downside action. I don't know, but just be careful. I'm looking for more Trump news. It looks bad, though. This looks heavy. There's VWAP. IB's coming, folks. Oh, my gosh. Point of control and IB's coming. Oh, my gosh. These guys are about to get murdered. There's your initial balance low. So, sorry, guys. I'm really sorry that Trump decided to talk there. Otherwise, you probably would have just got this move, as simple as that. But this is why you have hard stops. Exactly like Priska said. It still looks heavy, guys. This still looks heavy. VIX is still holding up above that key pivot. It still looks heavy for me. But your location has gone now. If you got knocked out of that, you don't want to be re-entering short here. Your location has gone now. Yeah, I don't understand what he means by the 10%. He's still talking, folks. I will not start renegotiations with Canada. All right, well, that's bearish. The meeting with China was incredible. That's what he said. I thought he'd say great. He's changed great for incredible now. Lower day here. Lower day check here. Let's see if there's liquidity down below. Yes, there is into 26,000. You've got liquidity down there into 26,000. So I don't know if any of you were able to hold through that. Looks heavy. VIX is still holding. Still looks heavy. There's POC. We finally tapped previous day point of control. That is a cover point. That is absolutely a cover point. That is fair value from yesterday. Sellers will cover there. You're starting to see a reaction off it straight away. That's why we have it on the chart, folks. It's there for a reason. It is absolutely there for a reason. Let's move some of these, shall we? Let's move. You can move up here and become this. You can see even this with the Trump news, we still rejected volume, all right? Volume, key, absolutely key. The zones are key. Rejection. So these buyers are remaining stuck. They're not letting them out. This will be the level now. If they protect 110s, they'll look to build out what? That's your next trigger, all right? If you can reject this and you're still in this, that's your next cover point down there. Reclaim this, we go back in rotation. What does that look like? IB, VWAP, VWAP, IB high, etc., etc. Don't really want to play the rotation. We'd like a trend to develop here at this point, but respect the initial balance, please. Yeah, I'm out of here in 10 minutes on my labby, but yes, you do. You have some Fed talkers today. We were supposed to have data today, but obviously we've still got the Gov shutdown. Friday, let's have a look. Hammock and Bostic. Hammock and Bostic. Well, I'm going to put in another request today for payout from Take Profit. Incredible. Like, this is not a bragging. I don't take huge money out, but I just want you to understand how good Take Profit Trader is. On the 4th, I requested 480. On the 4th, on the 10th, 483. And then on the 21st, 678. And then on the 30th, 432. And then on the... Hang on, where is that coming from? Is that right? No, I'm way off. Way off. Sorry, folks. On the 1st of this month, I requested 1,000. And I waited a few weeks, and then I requested 3,600. And then I requested 500 on the 27th. And then on the 29th, 1,000. And then on the 30th, yesterday, 500. I will request another 500 today. It adds up so fast for very, very little work. There you go, rejecting POC right now. I love TPT, man. So good. So good. So Flow Zone is the code if you want to trade with TPT. Flow Zone will get you 40% off and no activation fee. Mike, it's great. It's a great week. Thanks, Alex. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Yeah, you too, buddy. Right, we need 4 more likes for these Apex giveaways and a course giveaway. Gregor58, great analysis today. Thanks for joining, buddy. Hope it's helped you, whether you've traded well with me or just learning. I hope it's helped. I really hope that what I provide here is different to what you can get on other channels. Hopefully it actually helps you. Hopefully it actually teaches you. Hopefully you're actually able to put it into a game plan. Hopefully it makes you, even if it helps you meet new people who are positive and in the same situation as you. It's a lonely game, trading. It's good to meet people. I love trading with you guys. It keeps me what's the best word for it? It keeps me stimulated during the day rather than doing it by myself. What about My Funded Futures? Floyd, they're really good. I've never traded with them. I've never, ever traded with them. But I have plenty of students who trade with them who absolutely love them. But I don't have a code there, and I've never traded with them, buddy. Probably should look at it. You're welcome, Talia. Thanks for joining. Ari, Alex, you're a great helper. Thanks, dude. Right, we have got those likes where we need it, which is perfect. We're going to do a giveaway in a moment. I'm just going to give this a settled second shakeout. Are any of you still short in this versus current previous day value area high? It looks good. That blue box we just put in, it is rejecting that volume. VIX is still holding up. Let me go to a lower time frame chart on VIX so I can just see how we're moving. If VIX builds a flag here, which is attempting to do, and finds a bid, this market is going to get heavy. It's a big if, but it is trying, it is attempting to do that. All the time you're rejecting this box, which should be red. I don't know why I left that as blue. All right, your rotations, your TP is here. These guys here. And acceptance below this will give you this. All right, that's the next move. It is down into that. So if you're still in this, that's what you're looking for, folks. Henrik, you're still in it. Yeah? You look good. As long as you've paid yourself a little bit, you look good. Well, I want to see VIX break out here. You've got a buyer here on the book at 50s. I want him to get out the flipping way for you guys and get a big old sell. What is that level? 5,980. Is anyone bidding down there? Oh, they are. They are. There's your value area low bidder from yesterday. Okay, perfect. Right, just be careful here. Strong selling. You guys are going to make some money here. It's coming. Make sure you're covering on each level as you go down. POC now hit. Acceptance below POC. You will get towards 980. There's a bid taking place at the 26,000. So you might not get that low. They might try and protect it. But there or thereabouts. And there goes the VIX. Built that flag like we talked about. And it's trying to break out of its high of day. And if it does that and gets going, woof, 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 this market might start screaming and crying a little bit. Tonio, one tick away from stop loss on that Trump move. Eh? It means you placed your stop well, though. Caps, thanks, Alex. One of my better weeks. Not huge money, but pretty good and consistent. That's all that matters, mate. Remember, money is kind of irrelevant. I know we trade for money. It is important at some times that we need to pay ourselves. But what really, 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 really matters is, are you taking legitimate setups and managing your risk appropriately? If you're taking the correct setups and managing risk appropriately, then you will have a good career in this. Here we go. Here's the previous day point of control check again. These are massive levels, folks. ES and SPY now into its gap as well. New week opening gap. I'm not in this. I can only commentate and enjoy it for you. I wish I was in it with you. Alex, you've taught me how to sit on my hands and not force trades. That's awesome. Awesome work, Robert. Ken, God bless you and all your families. Have a safe weekend. Thanks, Alex, for your teaching. See you later, Ken. Have a good one. Stick with me, stream. We're going to do a giveaway. We're just going to wait for this new H1 to form. I just want to see if you get a wick down, which will be really nice, because then let's have a think about this. Let's have a think about this. I would definitely watch that transition point into 990. So I'd be watching 26,000, 990, and really previous day value area low 971. 971. Golden pocket and previous day value below as a last stop. Yeah, basically, yeah. Look at that giant candle yesterday on the H1. Look at the transition. So POC of it here. Failing that, yeah, let's move you over so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Might help mine there. All right. What did we talk about when we formed this candle? I said if we make an H1 high and fail it, this will become what? The big bear flag. All right. Do you remember when we drew that out? And he said, if we make a new high here and fail and we break this low, we come down into here. Here's your big imbalance. Here's POC. Failing here. Fill imbalance. Remember, this is just an earnings candle. That's all that is. That's an earnings candle. We can come down into here. Very possible. So I wanted the bull trap, the bear trap here long this morning for this move. We said that if this stays heavy, we will consider this rotation back down. We're starting to see that. You are starting to see that. You're starting to get that move. VIX starting to see alignment with the rest of the market. Finally. Finally. How did it drift up all day and the market not respond to it? Crazy. It is crazy. We've literally not pulled back all day since, what was that open? The 9:30 print, we printed straight upside. We consolidated. We pivoted, we reclaimed PDC, we went straight upside through PDH, we're straight upside through all the key levels, and the market kept going upwards. Mental. Here comes the sales. You're going to get it. You guys are going to get it. I'm telling you. Move your stop down with it. You're going to get it. If this protects initial balance, you're going to get value area low. You guys are going to be so FU rich off this trade. What an absolute beauty. What a beauty. I just watched this 26,000. There was a bidder down there. Yeah, he's still there. 127 lot. Worth. You guys are making some serious dough today. Woo! Well played, guys. Well flipping played, guys. Yoo! Well played. This is your target. All right, 26,000. They will cover in front of 26,000 because there's a big buyer down there making himself very obvious. But once you get through that, that's your next target. So, you know, this is an extension. Feel free to take some money or at least move your stop down. But this is ultimately where you want to go. Yoo-hoo! I love you guys making money, man. All right, I'm going to turn this aircon off. It's freezing. What a beauty. What a beauty. Congrats, Adventure Life. I want to say that I really enjoy your style of trading. I've been hooked since day one in here. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. If this thing hits 26K, I'm eating caviar tonight. You look good. A little bit of a response here, but you look good. As long as it protects IB low and previous day point of control now, you should complete the rotation. But just make sure you pay yourself. These are big moves. These are big moves. You don't want to see it like come all the way back on you. Fridays love to run. They do, mate. They love to trend, don't they? We haven't had it in a while. It's been annoying. It's nice. Thanks, JJ. Yeah, that's actually looks like that might be getting a re-release, which is cool. That was my big hit. That was #1 in the UK dance charts, that one. That opened up a whole new world of touring the world for me. It was great. Here goes the VIP, guys. Guys, I just want you to understand the relationship here so that you guys can see this when you're not trading it with me. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is since this morning's prints. Up, 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 up. This is a risk-off market. We just broke out of major levels. There is not much left. We are into this sort of level of supply here. We're above it. The next pivot is going to be into this level here. This is a risk-off market. This is a market selling. You do not see this, I'm telling you. This is not even blowing my own trumpet. You do not see this kind of education on the other channels. It fucking pees me off, man. The amount of, I see all these like PB this and Danny trades that, trading absolute horseshit with fucking hundreds of thousands of people following him. Like, it's not even about me. I'm like, what do they see in these complete fraud cretin morons that makes them think that they should watch them? Like, you're learning nothing. There's nothing to... I'm going short, guys. I'm going long, guys. I'm going short. Why? Why are you doing that? They will never be able to tell you why, because they're gambling. I don't get it, but people love that kind of entertainment. They love it. All right, here comes a retest of that previous day point of control and your current initial balance low. And if they stay heavy here, they will try and complete the rotation to value. You do have some volume building down here, right? There was a bit of covering going on down here. You can see it. It's a big move as well. And we're into lunch. We are into lunch. You're getting H1 expansion here. Did we go wick to wick? No, not quite. We missed it. So 26,000 we missed by a little bit. 990 we missed by a little bit. You're there or thereabouts. So what I would look for now is if they offer a continuation, what you need to be careful of is they might want to come all the way back to here, and you don't really want to hold through this. If you were short up here, it's probably not that fun to hold all the way into this. But if you're lucky, they reject here and rotate. If not, they're going to come and recheck this. And if they hold a high low there, then you need to be all out. It's the same with all the socials though, Hal. Like, I know how it works. Like, man, now that I've tried to do Instagram, which I hate, by the way, and you know how much I hate socials. I like trading and that's it. Now that I'm like, okay, I'll put my shorts on Instagram, because it knows I'm a trader now, it keeps showing me other traders. It just annoys me. These like fucking 20-year-old kids full of absolute crap, and they're making so much money from not trading, but they're convincing people to come and watch them and learn. And it's like, there's nothing to learn. You're trapping people. You're trapping people because they can't do this. They don't understand how the market works. You are trapping people to sell them some bullshit so that you can drive your car around. Like, just ethically, I have such an issue with it. I was that guy as well. I didn't really get trapped in the same way, but I bought a ton of courses from people who, you know, I thought were legit and they were not legit. And then you've also got legit traders then who can't teach, who are great traders, but they can't put an explanation on it. But, you know, they're not supposed to be teachers. Like, I'd say an example of that is like Stephen Ducks. Like, insane trader. Like, talk about being able to manage size. But I wouldn't say the best teacher. And yes, I do have his course, but not the best teacher, but great trader. Okay, let's do this now. We're going to pull these winners now for you guys. What's it called? Okay. The code for the best percent off all these prop phones, or most of them, is FZT. Just type that in chat. We'll do a giveaway, one Apex account, any size that you want, to one winner. So just type FZT in chat. You only need to type it once, folks. That is my dog. Give me a second. I'll be back and we'll pull this winner. My dog's just woken up. Hello, Luna. Okay, let's pull this winner. You guys still look good. You're still rejecting previous day point of control. You are still rejecting it. And we're going to find a winner here. Price is trading. Are you here? Price is trading. You're going to get value area low, guys. It looks really good for it. 26,000 coming up. Price is trading. Let me know you're here. Message me in chat. Otherwise, we will re-roll. You're very, very close to that 26,000. As long as you paid yourself a little bit, I think you trade through it now and you go for the 970s. And under that, we can go for previous day low. Price is trading. You got 1 more minute to make yourself known, my friend. So for your runners, you are looking for 970, 883, 853. If they got really weak down there. How long did I study ICT? Do you see me trading ICT? I've watched some of his videos. It is not Nina Danka. Nina Danka. It's each their own. If anything, it got in the way of my trading. Boom. There you go. It's 26. You're coming. It's coming for you guys. You guys are so rich. So rich. All right. We're going to re-roll. Price is trading. You're not here. So we're re-rolling this one. Boom. Priska. I love that. I love that. A regular winning. I will hit you up on Discord, Priska. Nice to see. Let me sort you out now. Right, just send it to you on Discord, Priska. It's your Apex code. Okay, and let's do one for a beginner course. This is coming for you guys. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful move. Really, really, really nice textbook stuff. Textbook stuff. Okay, type course in chat with your chance to win a Flow Zone introduction course. It's my beginner course. It's only 2 hours long, but if you've never traded before, never invested before, it's a nice place to start. And it also gives you money off the 20-hour course once you complete it. So yeah, you pretty much tagged value area low then. You were very, very, very close. Very, very, very close. So worth making sure you've paid yourself some into this green box. Remember, this green box was a big level from yesterday. You can see it. It was our over-under, all right? It's where we created a weak high and created more liquidity. And then we washed, rejected, washed, pivoted, reclaimed, went away from it. We know this is a huge level. You must pay yourself into that level. Give you guys a couple more minutes. Who's sending me a nice stogie then? Who made enough money to get me a nice stogie? How can you get heat map? It's Bookmap. You can just buy it on Bookmap. All right, we'll give this until 12:15 and then I'll draw it. I'm going to have a stogie tonight. Wife's away. I've got a little collection here. What am I going to smoke tonight? I don't get told off. What have I got in there? Maybe a Cohiba Blue. Cohiba Blue tonight and a whiskey. I think I've earned it. This week has not been easy price action. I really think we have traded this very, very, very well together. I know for a fact there are some other streams who have burnt 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus accounts on tilt over the last 24 hours. And we have done nothing but trade this really well. All right. You guys were short this morning for this breakdown. I told you I'm going to look for a bear trap down here. I was long or I was long here. Then I was short in this. And then I was long the squeeze. I covered here. You guys did better than me. And then I talked about this short coming either for breakdown short or a retest short. And the targets were very clear. And now you're going to get your targets. And this is for, you know, if they go mega risk off, that's where you're going all the way down there. What a beauty. Okay, let's pull this winner for the course. Remember, if you've already done the course, if you've done the big course, you can give it to a friend or family member, or if you want me to re-roll it, I will re-roll it. Floyd Lewis. Are you here, Floyd Lewis? Vic's still going. Vic's approaching 18 now. Beauty. When things come together, it's nice. You've definitely got a cover point here, though. All right, think about the H1. We just went over it. Look at this H1. Look where we're trading into. It's a big, big, big cover point. Under here was excess yesterday. Under here is excess. So make sure you've paid yourself into this move. We don't know if it's going to drift lower. It's possible, right? Values here. Obviously, PDC, PDL's down here. But this is really where if buyers are going to come in or we're just going to agree like, hey, we're not going to go into full panic for the weekend, they should stop here or hereabouts. If they want to go full panic, it'd be gross to do it. I don't think we do that, but there you go. Floyd Lewis, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. You have won yourself a free introduction course. If you could shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you, and I will sort you out with a free course. I'm going to give this a few minutes longer. I do need to take Luna out, but I want to see if you guys hit final TPs here. Oh, nice, Alibaba. I've actually always wanted to go to Morocco. My sister used to live in Marrakesh for a bit. Shokran, Ali. Shokran. Here you go. What can I say? If you guys just hit your TP, look at this. Look how annoying this is. Got no data again. Frustrating. Thank God I'm not trading. I'd be fuming. And another one. I would be fuming. If you just hit TPs down here, throw me some W's in chat. If you hit TPs on these, throw me some W's in chat, please. I want to know who held that. Who got that move from that breakdown all the way down to value area low? You are trading very, very well if you did that. Did anyone add on the POC that we talked about? Did anyone add for this move here? Even this is a good trade. It's almost 100 points, that alone. Henrik got it. Troy got it. Weak hand. Oh, you still did well. Just know that right now, ES is coming in to close its gap. Right, it's almost done a gap fill on the ES. Spiders have got a way to go, but ES is... Where is my PDC on Spiders? What the bloody hell? That's weird. Yeah, ES is about to close its gap. You've hit your targets. You have hit your targets. If we go gap fill, we go down here and then PDL. Do you know what's nuts? Is Apple's caught a bid. It's just a risk off sell. Where are we getting this sell from? Hello. All right, Goog, very weak. So drive up, sold, back to gap fill. PDL below. Meta, breaking down. previous day low coming, snap that. We compute harder. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. Same thing with Microsoft. Meta, I'm interested in. If we keep drifting into these pockets, it's starting to perk my interest. Did we complete a fib? Yeah. Okay, measured move done. That's why. All right. Needs a pullback. All right, folks. I think we call it a day there. I think you guys have absolutely smashed it. You've hit all the main targets, right? The only low-hanging fruit left, like your main low-hanging fruit's gone. This was the green box we wanted to get towards, all right? From previous day, point of control, down into here, that is a big, big move. If you get lucky, all right, if you're still holding and you get lucky, you get a gap fill and a previous day low. Under gap fill, I mean, that will be a ginormous move. I would somewhat doubt we get it. I would imagine that we'll cool off here, but who knows? Anything can happen in this market. It's very likely that we are due a bounce. Think about the strength of this trend. You've basically gone straight down from where we left these buyers trapped. We came into this pool of liquidity. We back tested twice. We failed. Even Trump couldn't save it. And then we've come into targets. You should be done for the day. You can hold some of it. As long as you've locked in, as long as your stop's in the money and you can hold some of it and try and see if it works for you and you get a little bit more. But as long as you've paid yourself like 75, 80% of your position size and your stop's in the money, you are laughing now. You're absolutely laughing. I will get the weekly newsletter done for everyone. That will be out tomorrow morning as always. Make sure you're signed up to the newsletter. All the links that you need are down below in the description. The newsletter is free. It doesn't cost you anything, all right? All I do is tell you what's happened this week, what I'm looking for next week, what the key levels are, what we have in terms of news and expectation, all right? It's definitely worth signing up for. If you're new and don't understand how and why we move, it will probably help you. I will be back Monday. We are going to do the same thing on Monday. We're just going to trade the chart in front of us. All right. If we start shifting to a big sell, higher time frame, guess what? We're going to join the sell. We're not going to pick the tops. We're just going to join the sell. We don't need to be a hero. We're just going to join what's in front of us and make some money and have some fun together. That's all we have to do. That is our job. Those interested, all the links to my favorite prop firms are underneath. If you want to do the 20-hour course, if you want to learn to read the market the way I do, the links are underneath as well. If you use code FCT at checkout on the course, you will get, I think it's 10% off at the moment. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Please use hard stops. Use hard stops in the market. Always use hard stops. This is proof of why I use hard stops. And I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Go and get outside. Do things that make you feel good. Don't procrastinate and sit on these screens all day long. Don't tire yourself out the weekend. This takes a huge amount of mental capital out of you. You need to find life balance. Do not become addicted to the screens. All right? Rant over. Love you all. Take care.